Welcome to another episode of Guerrilla Radio. This is 178. I did not update the numbers.
I was thinking too, man.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I thought we were gonna be right at 200s pretty soon.
Yeah,
we're 180.
Yeah, we're gonna probably end maybe at 179. I don't know. It depends on if there's more news coming out throughout the spring and summer. So we're here. We're back. And
made it home safe. What about you, man? You had a long drive.
Yeah, it was pretty good drive. Thanks to Travis Horn, we rode together and talked a lot about wrestling and made the 4-hour drive pretty easy both ways. So it's not a bad drive. It's just long, and you're through the middle of nowhere.
17-year-old Mike Reiser did not think Travis Horn was a really good guy. 41-year-old Mike Reiser, that's a great dude, man. Travis,
we tried getting the rematch.
Several times. I feel like there's a lot more wrestling in there. I feel like at one point Carson Brewer was trying to, jump out of a car and wrestle us on the streets.
Yes.
Maybe if it wasn't 19 degrees and he's way bigger than me and stronger than me and better than me, maybe I would have gave that a run.
Yeah.
But nah.
Oh yeah. It was quite a. There we go. We got comments. Woohoo! I figured out the issue, which is really interesting. Yeah, fun weekend. Great weekend. I don't even know where to exactly start. Historic weekend. So,
historic weekend for sure.
Yeah. Dan
Luther, Landon Klauser watching. Appreciate you guys. I get to see Dan this weekend. Saw Landon on the street after the state finals. Told him what a great career. Gave him an IndianaMat t-shirt.
Yes.
We're handing out quite a few shirts out there.
So, and gave out some IndianaMat stickers.
We did hand out some Indiana. I gave one to the heavyweight horse. Anthony Popey came up and let us know the heavyweight horse.
Yes, I
gave him some stickers.
So
I still got stickers in my jacket. Maybe I'll head out to one of these academies and get them to the guys.
That'd be fun. So yeah, we even gave out some. I guess they are now called Joe Caprino / John Goldsberry stickers.
Yeah. Did we have the picture? Can we bring that up?
Oh, geez.
So Triple B, we're sitting up in the luge or whatever. What is it? The lodge, the luge, whatever. The lounge, and John Goldsberry is by us. And Triple B's looking at the stickers like, why do you have a sticker of John Goldsberry? And just that's me. And then he came over, and I'm sure Joe's gonna pull the picture up.
Yep, give me a second.
It's have you ever seen the movie Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger? It's pretty close. Pretty close.
I guess we're twins there.
I did that picture. That thing does look like him, right? I think we gotta get an updated one.
Yes.
Gave one to someone at work, and they told me my face isn't as chubby anymore. So maybe it's 'cause I don't smile enough.
Uh-oh.
Dave Doster in here. Dave, congratulations. I'm sure we're gonna cover some brackets, but that was a great weekend for the Doster family.
Yes, it was. So yes, so I have a doppelganger. So that's a.
He's a little bit taller. A little bit bigger. He's a little bit bigger than you are.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, there's a little bit of a height difference. So I think he died. He must dye his beard or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So,
you gotta keep up appearances. You can't look just like twins.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get it. We're gonna have to make some more Joe and John stickers, I guess.
If you see my nephew out wrestling, he has a Mike Reiser sticker on his headgear. IndianaMat on one side and the Mike Reiser face on the other.
Yeah.
He said that's one of Coach Lorik's favorite things.
That's awesome. You get that'll get you on the referees, right? The good side of the referees, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure they think it's a sticker of his dad. Me and my brother look pretty close. My brother looks like we could be twins. He's a little taller than me. It's kind of the Goldsberry Joe thing. He's a little bit taller than me. I got told several times this weekend that from the show they thought I'd be shorter. They didn't know I was going to be as tall as I am.
Yes, because you're like, what, 6'5"?
Yeah, well, I don't know how this part of me represents shortness,
yes.
But I don't know if it's my angle of my camera. I'm a shade under 6 foot. Probably 6 foot with shoes on.
Yeah.
But kind of, it was just like one of them things.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, there you go. Froze up for a second, but yeah.
So we started a Thursday night with the live show. We want to start there. The live show went pretty well.
Yeah, that live show was a lot of fun and had quite a few people out there. and it's something we're gonna look to do again. I think we just got to figure out a place and day. I mean, it was nice because a lot of people were coming in on Thursday anyway, so that made it a little bit easier to have a show and have some fun. Quite a few people were there, and then we had the mayor driving us around.
Yeah, that was really cool too. Really cool. A lot of people came out, and then we got some parents on the mic. So impromptu, I was kind of like, Eric Newell said if he'll come out, he's supposed to go to bed early. He'll come out if he could jump on the mic. So we gave him the mic, got a breakdown. He did a good job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did a great job. I mean, all of them that got on there were pretty good, and obviously those parents, they watch us, obviously, but they also know their wrestling, and they've been around it, and they've been on teams with, I mean, all the top kids and stuff. So they have their favorites, but they also know quite a bit of stuff. So.
I was ready to start grabbing anyone that came in there, give them a breakdown. Kind of rotate the mic a little bit. Sarah Dickman got on, Matt Brewer. I mean, I didn't get to hear that part of it. Rex Brewer came up in there. He was in there. Rex got me my shirt. I didn't wear it tonight. I threw it in the wash, and then the washer wasn't done before, so I'll have to wear it on the awards show. But I appreciate that. Rex came up there and helped us with the audio a little bit. We're not used to doing live shows.
With speakers and, yes, with a live studio audience. See, next year before the finals, we need to, kind of like they do the NCAAs, we should just, steal the mic and just do a little pregame on the big screen or pre-finals show. And I'll talk to I know a couple people.
I think we're going to get, honestly, I was thinking that, like, there was, like, a window. I was like, man, like, we could probably get this going right now, kind of give a little quick recap. But it was good, man. It was good hanging out with the boys. Howie, I think all the rankings guys were there, right? You don't do any rankings anymore. Howie,
Dustin,
Caleb, Triple B. Me and Triple B, we racked up a bar tab. I'll say that. We got some free drinks, but man, I felt like there was never empty hands.
No, that's that
was stadium either.
Yeah, we had a nice little place. The lounge seating was pretty nice. Got to move around. Got to had a food and a bar and stuff. That was pretty nice. You gotta find one at Cambridge now. So I guess Cambridge. Nice.
That's how we're gonna run it. Oh, my cousin Jones in here. Hey, what's going on? But yeah, it's definitely definitely a cool thing Thursday. I got to hang out with a lot of really good people. I mean, I thought that was just getting those people out there, just kind of seeing some people, some posters from the board. Only some little bit of friction, not that much, a little bit.
Yes.
You get enough people there, there's always going to be a little bit of back and forth. But like real good people. Got to hang out with Josh Reynolds all weekend.
Yeah, Reynolds just popped up everywhere we went. I mean, it was like, there's Reynolds. I mean, he was just following us. I think either that or we were following him. Then,
I felt bad because Eric had said something. He was like, "We never got Hector on," and in all the years we didn't get Hector on. So next time we do a live show and Hector's there, I'm getting him on the mic.
Okay. Well, I mean, he should come to state. Maybe we'll go to the NCAAs and do one.
Dude, he would kill, man. Hector's got so much knowledge and so many funny stories, dude. He'd kill it. Got to hang out with the whole Reynolds family. I only met Josh and Parker a little bit. Got to hang out with Beckham, his other daughter's wife. So Beckham was stealing the show, man, and partying. I'm like, I told the Crown Point guys, I can't hang out with you guys anymore. I'm hanging out with Beckham Reynolds.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Thursday night was good. I mean, pretty nice place to hang out and have some drinks. The pizza was okay. They said, it has a really sweet sauce. I had a piece, and I was like, it's very unique sauce.
It was. It was. I think it was like a pizza. I think it was a pasta sauce they put on. There was like some chunks in there. It's like sweet and hot. Dude, is Hector ever under 2.0? Come on. 2.0. Come on now. Nice. I did the Dane and Rex show for a little bit up at the top of the stadium. It took me do all these back doors and the wrestlebacks or the placement rounds. I went up there with Dane, which is always cool, man. Yeah. Always thankful to get on there. We did the show, the pre-show.
Yeah.
What was that? Where were we at? The corner? What was the pre-show for
Cafe, Corner Pockets, Corner something. Yeah, that was pretty good. It's pretty neat seeing all the people come up and go in the wrong line and have to go around.
I know. I was trying to let them in the back door too, man. That's that black goat coming in me. They're coming to that door. I was like, go through here. You won't even have to pay. But there's, like the whole Ticketmaster thing. I don't know what happened, but there were some open seats.
Yeah.
Corner Club. Thanks, Rex.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of open seats in there. But it was loud when it was turning. It got loud.
Yeah. The Ticketmaster thing. I almost wonder if so many people bought, because the last session it was pretty full.
People, Brett Smith, you dirty dog.
So the last session was pretty full. I mean, I almost wonder if a bunch of Evansville people just bought finals tickets and then no one else could get the all session ticket because everyone's going to look for all sessions, and then all of a sudden just showed up for the finals. So.
Man, Joe. Maybe Joe Stannis was not there on Friday night when Ocampo hit Chantilly to his back. Yeah. It was pretty loud.
Spill the tea.
Or anytime Mater Day stepped on the mat.
Yeah. When Mater Day stepped on the mat, it was reminiscent of, during their, I mean, not that they're bad by any means, when they were winning at an enormously higher rate, and like when they had 5 in the finals the one year and stuff, and
yep.
that was loud. And anytime they got on the mat, it was loud, and they were cheering. That was real cool. I know we talked to Brandon Taylor, who was like the meet administrator, and I asked him, I go, what happened with Ticketmaster, and he said kind of basically what I kind of thought was happening, but they. When you would buy an all-session ticket, it would give you just you'd select your seats, but then it'd give you 2 random seats. And then when people were selecting those seats for session 2 or 3, people were getting them, and it just was basically an ugly loop of code. So I don't know what they did wrong in setup and everything or what, but I hope they get it fixed, because I think that kept some people away. I don't know how many. And there's so many different things they can do. I think they should open up all sessions first, and then the last session, single session like the next day or something.
Reggie, right? Did they hold kids back for 2 years and homeschool them in Indiana? Yes. That happens. I mean, I don't know if it's 2 years, it's a lot. Sometimes kids like me can't read in the first grade. You got to hold me back. Are you gonna send me to second grade? Joe Stannis should have went there. The hotel lobby was it was a good time, but I will say this. I'm going to say this. I had a huge sample size of the weekend. I'm not going to lie. I had a huge sample size of the weekend. I lived it up. Joe can witness this, right?
Yeah.
So we got on Saturday night at our hotel. It was a lot of fun. Garrett got their first state champion. They were in there celebrating. Belmont was in there celebrating. My guys from Bishop Chatard, they were out there celebrating, having a good time. A lot of good times over there. I went down to Doubletree. Not as many good times Saturday night as it was Friday night. And we'll get to that part of it, but it was like a roller coaster. We were having a good time, me and Josh Reynolds. Big Troy on the whistle did a great job. Joe Stannis didn't want to drink with me. I offered him several drinks. Big Troy and Josh Reynolds walked down the other hotel, and they could probably vouch for it. Probably not as lively as it was at our hotel.
Yeah.
Jason Leach was having a good time in there. Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, we closed down the lobby in our hotel and had to go to, I don't know, someone's room and hang out for a little bit. So
it wasn't our room because I was asleep.
Yes.
I went to bed at 1 a.m.
You beat me there. I was like the night before. Man. I was like, dude, I gotta go. I gotta at least get a couple hours of sleep.
That's my biggest regret from the entire weekend was I didn't have a hams with Dane, and I told him I was going to, and I just forgot.
Yeah, he was. He never.
Dude, Ken Joel was at the Doubletree. I wish I had seen him, man. Long time listener, first time caller. I like it, Big Troy. Big Troy was keeping me on my toes. I'll say that.
I talked to some of the Cathedral guys Friday night. We were talking and stuff, and just I think it was Bismeyer's parents and Reyes' dad were there, if I'm not mistaken. So Yeah, I talked. So if Ken, you should have hung out with those guys. They seem like they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're good people, man. Yeah, the DoubleTree is definitely a good spot. I always tell the joke when we used to go out with Bobby Joe. I didn't even get to hang out with Bobby Joe on Saturday night. They were at a casino. I wasn't taking an Uber over there and gambling. But in Indy, Bobby Joe always loves to go to Tiki Bob, so we always call it Tiki Bobby Joe's. So what's the chances that we ended up at a tiki bar in Evansville also?
Yeah. They we were there a couple times, and Friday night we were there. We're just like having a drink, and they had like pictures on their TV or whatever, and all of a sudden I see the logo, the graphic I made with the schedule and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So,
bro, they dude. So I went back, and I forgot I want to talk about this. I didn't put it in my notes. So I went back to DoubleTree. Me and you went back, right? And I got to meet the great Josh Book. We were trading old stories from when he was at the camp with my brother, Cyclone Train, back in the day. So we go back to DoubleTree, and I think I made several $100 bets on matches that I am not seeing rewards on. And I definitely was shaking people's hands. So I need to get Anthony Hawkins on the line because he was there. I think he was a witness to all these bets.
I was a witness to a few of them. So, yeah. We should have recorded those, but yeah. Book tried getting me killed. I will say that. Did you hear about that?
Cradle?
No. Well, see, he's like, hey, you got to go over to Nick. Nick, who is a former, I guess, I don't know if he's officially ever retired MMA fighter. And he's like, hey, go tell Nick, welcome to the club of coaching a state champion. I'm like, are you trying to get me killed tonight? He's like, maybe. So I jokingly told, I smoothed it over with Nick. I said, hey, Josh wants me to ask you, and he's trying to get me killed. So, but no, Nick and them great guys, and he's like, Nick was like, hey, I'm at the party, whether I'm early or late, I'm here, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. And Nick's a good dude, man. He's not a guy that would kill you. He would just kind of hurt you.
Yeah. Yes. Just not that. He's still pretty happy, and definitely should be. So, well deserved, and Chase is a great kid. His dad's a little wild, but that's not too bad.
I think he got DQ'd because they're getting misconducts out like Halloween candy.
Yeah. You used to go up to the table, you grab one, nope, misconduct. Yeah. You got ran over by a worker push.
Man, I thought everyone in Evansville was nice, dude. That's sorry. I'm sorry for that. Dude, we were by the nicest people in Evansville. The Vanovers, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they. Oh man, there's so much to talk about, but yeah, the Vanovers, and they were super great to us, and always very complimentary, which was pretty cool, and even told us about the secret hospitality room that said for IndianaMat workers also, or IndianaMat people too. So
we got to go sample some of what the legendary in Evansville modern day hospitality room is.
I know.
We got to go sample that. It was really good.
Oh yeah, yes.
Those fellows can cook, man. They said they brought their Blackstones out there. It was awesome.
Yeah, and even the ticket people were good because we had a special entrance, and that I was like, hey, I bring my media. I have my media pass. Do I need to go through there? And they're like, oh, no, you're fine. And then the one girl is like, oh, I remember you. I'm like, okay, I hope that's a good thing. So,
man, I thought everyone was super nice. I thought one of the cooler things was like they had people out on the street, and it was not warm. So if you weren't there, and wherever you were, if you're watching from sunny Florida, it was not warm there. They had these people on the corner like asking you if you needed directions, where you wanted to go. They had the zip line. We didn't do the zip line.
No.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of stuff out there. It was really cool.
Yeah. If you had to put a title on that's a good one. What would if you had to put a title on the 2024 season, what would it be?
Stayed in Evansville.
What happens in Evansville stays in Evansville, because it was crazy. It was and we're gonna get into that, more and more. But yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was like what would happen if you go into and nothing on the mat. It was just absolutely bonkers from the get go. So
upsetting upsets. Yeah, I think Brock Peel 100%. Like there was a ton of upsets. Whether those guys felt like they were or not, there was a lot of like, oh wows. And I did feel like having a half empty arena kind of took from some of that. But like when it was going sideways, I don't think that was OSHA approved either. No chance. No, Tony, the zip line, dude. Hey, I would have been calling off if I took that zip line. There's no way it was holding me. There's 0% chance it was holding Triple B. Maybe Caleb, but it was stagging, man.
Yeah, it was, and it was like 100 feet long. It wasn't even very long. It was like, I thought it was like going through like at least like a block or two, and it was like not very long. And yeah, it was a little bit disappointing in that, but the food trucks were kind of hidden. Of course, we were just trying to get somewhere, warm and stuff, and didn't see us our way back in. So
we saw Aiden Torres. He was wearing like an IHSA like windbreaker. I thought he was working for the IHSA now. We saw Sammy Coyne, who apparently went to IU and grew and got like now he's a giant.
Yeah.
Like at first I was like, dude, who's yelling for us? He's like 6'3" now. It looks like.
Yeah. I don't know what they're feeding him there. So yeah, I saw him. Let's see. Modern Day fans were pretty cool. It was cold. It was cold in there. The internet and cell phone service in Evansville. I don't know if it's built on some plutonium or something. The sludge in the river, whatever. But I had like
absolutely sludge in the river in the region, and it works fine.
Yeah.
I've been trash talking getting Evansville results for years. For years, I was like, we don't get anything from Evansville, and now I know why, because everything's on LTE. I couldn't get a single bar, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad I wasn't getting kidnapped.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So it helps the signal. Okay, I didn't know. We have science teacher Jason Cook here to tell us.
Dude, Jason Cook, I wanted to know like what goes into the Ward E. Brown Mental Attitude Award.
Yes,
Luke Pinola won the Ward E. Brown Mental Attitude Award, and I've always wanted to know. So congratulations to Luke Pinola.
Yes, congratulations to him. It's really cool. A lot of people that are very good candidates, and it is something that's very interesting. What we were just looking through before on the pre-show, like who's all won it, and usually it's like a top 2 or 3 guy, and so we were kind of thinking. I don't like a LaRocca who's going to Air Force. I was like, oh that would be.
Bro, he had did they say 4.77 GPA?
Yeah, and he wasn't he like ranked second or third in his class or something?
Man, so if he's 4.77 and big arms is a criteria, Pinola's winning. There's some big dude, man. Reason's
a bully.
Dude, if T-Mobile was working out there, I was Verizon. I used to be but Verizon was not good. It was not good service.
No, it was not anywhere. I mean, I was like trying to watch like a match, and in the hotel, I'm like, ugh. And even like the Wi-Fi at the hotel was pretty low. I was like, man, I guess they just want you to go to.
I'm asking you as a former winner of the Ward E. Brown Award, not because Luke Pinola won it.
No, we just want to know what goes into it. Like, everything.
Yeah, one, no one's taking that award away from him. He's too big and strong and heavy on the head. But that's not any kind of smoke I want.
No.
I'm just asking. I've always wondered, and I just I had it written down that he won, and I wanted to know from a former winner.
Well, obviously, I'm just glad they found their car Friday night.
I know. He was playing Dude, Where's My Car, but it was really, really cold.
Yes. I'm just glad they found the car. and that was it's like, where's the I mean, there's like one parking garage, so it's not even like you could get too lost there, so.
Dude, AT&T is trash, just so everyone knows. I have AT&T on my work phone. Terrible. But I like that it's terrible because when I have to get a work call, I never take it. I just tell them, it sucks.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, you guys just spilled something into the lake? Yeah, that sucks, man. I couldn't get service on that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Weingart. I didn't know he was going to Army. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, that's real good. Anything else? of the non-wrestling / wrestling. The intros were cool. They had
the intros were really
flames
cool.
and stuff. And I wish I'd have known. I brought some marshmallows, and I even said on the board, I go, Christopher Bone might be. He might have changed his hot dog review if you could have roasted a couple hot dogs. Dude,
before the finals, if we could have got a little hype, Just Dennis was right. Like in between matches, if it was a little bit dead, we could have got some guys on the mic, maybe on the floor. I thought the interviews were good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that they were hitting people for team points for celebrations.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're not in the team race, like Charlie the Rock, a good thing he didn't do like a celebration, ended up getting his team a medal.
Yeah.
Or Nate Johnson, but everyone else, like you had to like go and. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Leach got hit for doing like a somersault, right?
Yeah. Yes, the Leach did a back roll because he really can't do a flip, so he just did a back roll.
That's great right there. So the Flames provided a flash of of heat.
We need a new announcer. Yeah. Yeah. The new. We need the new announcer to call back to cool things. Yeah, I thought the new announcer did a good job. He has a great voice, and
does, man.
I don't want that job. You don't want to replace a legend. So,
bro. Dude, Rex Brewer ain't lying. I didn't do a media review on that a hot dog review on the stuff in the media room. Fire. I give them an 8 out of 8.
Ooh, yeah.
It was good.
I had one too. They were good. Plump, big.
The second biggest regret of the weekend. I got a second one.
Uh-oh.
I didn't get one of Schaefer's dad's like famous like sausages.
Oh yeah, yeah. We didn't go in. We didn't get down there. I don't know when it was ready or what, and we were getting ready to go. We probably should have snuck it down there before lunch. See if there's still stuff there. Too many good matches.
Yeah, that was my second regret of the weekend.
Yeah, where did we eat at? We ate at Tiki Bobby Joe's.
Tiki Bobby Joe's. They brought, dude. This is how wild it is at Tiki Bobby Joe's. We were standing, and they brought me and Bobby Joe our own table. So at Tiki Bobby Joe's, we had our own table. We were doing a little meet and greet in there. We met a handful of wrestling people, which was really cool.
Yeah. Artie, you know what? And I may or may not have told someone. Number one, everything was really great in Evansville. I loved being the only show in town.
Yep.
That was really cool. You go in, it was treated like NCAs. If you go in on the floor, there's a picture, like the state picture right there. They had flyers everywhere. They really invested in trying to make everyone feel welcome, and that was really cool. I don't think we don't get that enough in wrestling, and that was really cool. I would not be opposed, and I probably will get crucified for this, to going back every 4 or 5 years. So you can crucify me for it. It would get better as far as people getting there and ticket crap, But I think it'd be cool to have it there, just because they make it feel really special, really, really cool down there, and that's something that we don't get in Indy. We're just another event there, so crucify me if you want.
Yeah, dude, Cook ain't lying. That's not a lie at all. When we go places outside of the region and people tell us thank you and hi, we think they're trying to fight us. I don't know why. It's weird. Yeah. I went to Wisconsin one time and people kept waving at me. I asked my brothers, "You know those guys?"
Yeah.
I'll say this, man, and this is 100%. I told everybody that asked me about Joe's idea, I would never want it in the region. I mean, the region, we'd have to build a facility for it to host it. But like, unless we built something that was really cool, like in a pretty good area, I think that I'd rather have it in Indy.
Yeah.
The Met commentary was good. I went back and watched some of the matches. It was really good.
Yeah, I saw one of the guys. He printed out the media guide and had everything. I mean, it was 200 pages almost, and he's like, "Yep." I mean, just flip through it for matches and get the information. And yeah, I listened to a few matches too, and they were really good. And that's really cool.
Joe Stannis said if it's not Indy when Parker's there, he's not going. he's gonna watch from home. No, I'm just joking.
The region would not be as friendly.
No, you guys. Yeah, is there a casino in the region, bro? We invented casinos in Indiana. we were stealing. Dude, Trump was stealing money in Northwest Indiana before anything. Come on.
Nice.
He lost his casino up here, man. We got like 7 casinos in the region. We got one right in Black Oak. You want to have it in Black Oak? We'll get F5 Entertainment out there. Artie will be on the 1s and 2s. Dude, we'll have that right up. You go to Philly Steak and Lemonade right down the street. It'd be the best.
After school. Right?
You guys want to have a great time? There's a truck stop right there.
Yeah. Well, we do need.
Bro,
Artie, they need some music in between, in dead times to kind of get the crowd going and stuff. It kind of was a little, waiting for the TV timeouts and stuff, and get some music in there.
Josh Daniel Black Oak would be perfect. Hey, I've never been in the new. They call it Northern Indiana. They don't want to call it Gary Casino. I don't know why, but it's in Black Oak for sure. It's right where Black Oak Elementary used to be at. But like, you have that in Black Oak. You guys come up there. You guys will have a great time.
Yes.
We do need to get. Kyle knows. He'll teach you about the Maristar, man. We'll take you to the Horseshoe. Disney on Ice was playing. What was that? I'm going to tell you. Me and Triple B were upstairs drinking at the bar, and I heard Disney on Ice, and I thought they messed up, and they played it through, right?
Yeah. No, we definitely need Artie on, DJing and getting us pumped up. I'll make a request. So,
F5 Entertainment, man, go check them out.
Where's he spinning? Where's he always spin at?
Dude, he was at the Tavern in the Oaks. We drove past that when he was over there. I don't know where he's spinning at right now. But hey, that dude, he'll work security. You guys have a good time.
Yes. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, I did like it. I know I'll get crucified, but it was something pretty cool, and I've never been to Evansville. I would go back. It's, you learn some things about where things are and how to get around, and it was pretty good. They welcomed us. They were excited to have us, and that was really cool. That's
probably why Joe Stannis keeps saying it was a dead show, because Joe Butler was at home watching it from his couch. If he was there, game over, man.
Yes.
No one gets as loud as Big Joe.
Yeah.
Me and Joe got to hang out one time in the stands just randomly. He told me his kid was going to be in the state finals, and I think the next year he was like 5th, and then he was under the lights. So I like that. There's one more thing I want to hit before we start covering these weights. I think there's a really cool thing that I always forget every year. I seen like a lot of people posted it tonight. Contenders killed it, man. And I didn't get my Contenders hoodie. I'm a little disappointed. I was going to wear it. I didn't get it. But they do like an appreciation night, and they bring in their chance. I think they won like the first 5 weight classes, and then they have like all the kids come in, which I think is really cool. I think it's a really cool thing. I think all academies should do that, because everyone that's like young and I think their academy is like looking to do that goal. Mm-hmm. I always thought that was a cool thing. That's something they do every year.
Yeah, that's really neat to do that. And I know like the schools and stuff. I'm sure Chase will do his media rounds at Garrett. Go up to the little kids club and talk to them and stuff. And it's always neat to see kids are there. So,
Ryan Parrish looking it up, man. First 5 weeks.
I guess you only get one. I don't. Well, I see where.
I told Parrish last year at NCAA, and I'm not. This is, and I didn't remember till right now, so I'm sorry. I told him we'd get him on the show. So I said when we're gonna start doing club week, we'll get Parrish on, and he can kind of talk about it. But man, that week was a blur too.
Yes.
More of a blur than this week. This week I remember a little bit more.
Yeah. So, and also thanks to everyone that complimented us and talked to us. It is it's very surreal. And as I was telling you on the way home yesterday, it's just like we're just doing I still don't think of us as just that big at times, and it's just like everyone's like, oh, that's the IndianaMat guy. I'm like, oh yeah. And Mike's like, we're just trying to go to the restroom, and they're like, oh, it's like almost like I guess celebrities ish or whatever you want to call it, but it's really cool, and we are glad that everyone appreciates what we do and stuff. So that's really it's just surreal going to state and just walking and everyone saying thanks, and people you don't really know and stuff, and oh, I'm so and so. I'm like, awesome. It's good to meet everybody and stuff. So
Well, we talked for about a minute, right? And then they were like, "You don't know it, but I watch the show all the time." I'm like, "Oh," and sometimes it's people from the chat, and sometimes it's people from the message board, and it's just parents that don't get in the chat, which I appreciate all these guys, man. I really do. The people that tune in every week. You got to meet Eric Spikes. Eric Spikes a big right on
I've met him before, but I just didn't. I'm not good with like as like focused, and then whoa, it's like so weird to see just random people in your. I'm not good with faces and names for the most part, but
yeah, and it's really cool, man, because we all have a passion for the sport, and it's really cool just to kind of hear how everyone got there, right? And I think that's like different things. And then, like Joe said, like Saturday night at DoubleTree was really cool because there was a lot of teams down there and just kind of like different flows of the night. Like some people are out like partying, some people are out having a good time. You get to hang out with Rex Brewer. That's always good.
Yeah, the pick'ems have been tabulated. Just so you know, I haven't totally announced that I was trying to do some other things, but it's on the main page on the info center. You can look and see how bad you did. I was 14th in the state pick'ems. As I said last week, I was peaking for state, and I did.
I went pretty Crown Point heavy. Obviously, I didn't have the best weekend. But dude, I think you did that, man. Like, how many people had? You don't have to say their names.
No.
But there was three. The only three people picked Brownsburg to win it, right?
Yeah, I went through and based on their pick'ems, seen who would get who picked what team to win. Let's see how many people of the approximately 105 people. 101 picked Crown Point to win based on the team points from their pick'em. So they really probably had no clue if they would pick whatever. 2 picked Center Grove and 3 picked Brownsburg. I'll just say that 2 of the 3 were one was an alumni. One, I believe, will have a son at Brownsburg next year. And the other is the pride of DeKalb County, who actually almost got, like, based on my projected team scores and stuff, pretty much hit the nail on the head. His picks weren't the nail on the head, but the kind of way they figured out, because he ended up having Mr. Tanner Bowman had 128.5 for Brownsburg, 126 for Crown Point, and 122.5 for Center Grove. So that's pretty darn close for like what the scores ended up being, which is kind of crazy.
Tony just texted me and said someone came up 1,500 at the casino.
Oh wow!
Should have went. That was the crew I was going with. I should have went.
Nice.
Missed a hot hand.
Yeah. So pretty much overwhelmingly everyone picked Crown Point, which was probably expected. But that is just kind of something I was like, I wonder how my picks did, because you obviously you're not trying to figure out, I want to make it so Crown Point wins, or Brownsburg wins, or Center Grove wins. So
Rex Brewer said Fort Wayne stepped it up big time this year. Do you think that coincided with Joe retiring from coaching?
No.
Breaking news.
No. Yeah. Oh, yes. We do have to proclaim Fort Wayne over the region.
Yeah. The Mooresville Regional over the region.
Yes.
The 5th semi-state, like Derek said on the award show.
How many things have we kind of just like coined, and now people just use it as common like language?
A lot, a good amount. Whether it was us or the board. Bro, Mooresville is ridiculously hard. Just kind of looking at what they did and how they, like, when they were posting like that. Like, that is really, really tough, man. I know someone was talking about taking one of the teams and putting them in Newcastle. It'd probably be a little bit easier trip for them. But when you're coming out of that really tough regional, it separates you at the semi-state, which separates you at the state finals, which is really good for like the team race overall. But you're also going to have some really tough draws in there too.
Yeah, and I can't remember who posted that. On like, well, is that the grind that helps Center Grove and Crown Point? And I'm like, I guess having to get up every week for big matches, that probably does help in some way, but also like I said on there, it's like they are set. Crown Point advanced 12, But in their quarter bracket, they will have at least one Evansville person, which,
Yeah.
I mean, see, they qualify 20.
Me and my brother talked about it today, and we're going to talk about the brackets, right? Crown Point, I think the majority of their guys lost to their medalists lost to a Evansville guy, right?
Yeah.
6 lost to the champ, 13 lost to Rio, 20 lost to La Rocca, 26 lost to Reynolds, 32 lost to Thrine, 38 lost to Lavelle, 50 lost to Cresia, who's on a mission. So, how about? I mean, we're going to talk about how about Cresia cleaning up blood on the mat?
Yes, that's yeah. Yeah.
What else? 57 lost Friday night to Evansville.
Center Grove.
Yep. 65.
65 lost to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, Fort Wayne.
75 Evansville.
75 lost to Evansville.
215 didn't lose.
He did not lose. And heavyweight lost to
the Auburn Assassin.
Auburn Assassin. Evansville's killing it, man. As far as semi-state goes, like, Mooresville's ridiculous. And I thought it's really tough. I mean, you could tell the rankings, and I think there's probably some that once we put in the final rankings that you got to kind of leave out because it's like, man, I can't rank 6 dudes from the Mooresville regional because only 4 are getting out.
Yeah. And
even if they had a wrestle back, they're still only going to take 4.
Yeah.
And Derek kind of hit it on the head. Like, we stayed for everything, man. We saw the Ward E. Brown. Like, again, congrats to Panola. We stayed for the trophy presentations. We might have been there for the state championship picture. I don't remember. Talked to all the coaches. But Derek said it on the mic when the stadium was empty. Like, they had 2 guys that are probably state medalists at the minimum that got left at the regional, that lost at the regional, or semi-state.
Yeah. Dog Pound Purple said Mooresville getting 8 next year.
Dude, is there a Dog Pound Purple too?
Is there dogs?
We can touch on that. We decided we're not going to ban them, right?
Nah.
We talked about it. I think you have to do something really, like, if he challenged you to a fight, like, we'll ban him. Like, ain't no one trying to fight out here. Like, ain't no one trying to fight on a message board.
He just loves his team. He just loves his dogs, and I don't mind someone that loves their team, loves their family, I guess. So, I mean, you can't, if he likes his team, he's gonna obviously have those red glasses on.
And I talked to Hawk after I posted that, and he said that's not, like, it was kind of lost. And sometimes when you text, you get lost in, like, that communication gets lost in there. It's not what he meant either.
Yeah.
But like, dude, we're only gonna, like, if you try to fight someone, like, one, if you're on a message board saying you're gonna fight someone, like, you're not fighting anybody. How many times have you been told someone's gonna fight you since you've been doing this? At least a dozen, right?
Everyone's gonna punch me. That's probably a minimum.
Everyone's gonna duke me right in my face, and then I guess they find out I'm taller than I look on TV. No, they don't ever say I look taller in person.
One time.
Yeah, well, no, that caught me off guard, man. They're glad they didn't see my brother because he's taller than I am. And he looks just like me. So yes. you think we are twins. The Terry twins killed it, dude. Those dudes are big, strong kids, man. Those are big, jacked up kids.
Yeah.
So I guess we can get into the bracket now.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the team race or kind of just as we go?
We can talk about, like, the brackets and then finish the team race, because I thought the team race was really interesting, and I think there was a lot of scenario. Censor his posts? No way, man. If we were censoring anybody's posts, we're censoring Garcia.
Yes. Do you want me to? Should we bring up the brackets? Let's see if we can bring them up.
Bro, Mercado said I look like I'm 5'2" out here. Bro, 6 foot on Twitter, on Tinder. Let's go, man.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta get the. Let's see if I can get this here. There we go. Okay. Sorry, you guys lost your messages. It'll be back here in a second. Okay. Whoa. There we go. Not Facebook. I want this. State finals. There we go.
Best interview? Ooh, who was the best interview? Jake Hockaday, maybe? I don't know. I thought Kressel's was pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weaver's was good, too.
Yeah.
JC got a big pop, bro.
Yeah. Weaver was a something about Weaver that I learned that he had they said that they had a coach was or a wrestler from Purdue had lived with him and did and trained with him for a little bit, kind of in exchange for rent. So that's kind of neat. Oops,
that was good. Baraka saying he remembered he was the man that was pretty good too.
Yeah. So 106. I guess it started off with a bang. Having Ocampo and Shantea. That was a crazy match.
Bro.
Geez, that was down 9-1. And okay, he's setting the tone, and this is gonna. I mean, it got out of hand quick. And
I think we could do that. I know we don't have the comments up. Dave Ghost, I don't want that to get lost. That's a good idea. So you need to come up with a state champ singlet so the guys can hang it. You guys can hang up and wear it all summer.
Okay, hold on. Let's put this up.
I like that idea.
Do we need to? Yeah, we're just not gonna put them on the. We're not gonna put them on the screen. We can go over them. Do you have them up?
I don't, but I'm gonna do it off memory.
Okay, so we start out with Ocampo and Shantea. That was a big one. Ocampo down 9-1, and you're like, okay, he's like not gonna let her get a medal. And then second period, she just clawed her way back. Let's see, what was the score? It was 9-1, and then she ended up scoring 7 points. So it was 9-8 in the third. After the second period.
Right? Like, she was going down. Where everyone was saying choose top. She had just turned him a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, we were like, choose top. And she had chose bottom, got a reversal. I mean, he was riding her pretty good, and it's like, okay, he's kind of getting his wind back. He's going to be able to, he rode her for a minute 20. So you're like, okay, and then she got that reversal, put him to his back, and got the fall. The video we have on Facebook, watch it. Like, it's been pretty popular. So
yeah, what was it, Saturday night? I had over 300 shares already, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's. I can tell you the stats on it, which is absolutely insane. So
it was going nuts, man. And we talked about that kind of last week, and we talked about it on the pre-show. They were asking, do we think that they were going to win? And I've never had. Let's say there was 6,000 people in there. I don't know what there was in there. But I would say like 5,850, and I'm being generous for 150 for Plymouth, was like cheering crazy. I talked to Rex and Dane said like there was like a minute where they didn't talk because they were up there crying. They had Ocampo on the show a couple times, and that's really cool, man. I showed it to my daughters when I got home, and it was just like one of those things. Like, I mean, obviously you have a daughter.
Yeah.
It was just a cool moment, man. It was really, really cool. And then the whole weekend, like, I think every time she kind of went out there, it was pretty loud. So that was really, I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, over 300,000, about 300,000 people have seen it, and 200,000 plays with the video.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That Adam Hartzell, he's usually taking pictures. He'll take videos every so often. He kind of stopped taking pictures and just videoed that last part, and you could just, there's a lot better video than the I Just A one, and you could just hear the crowd, and being in that situation, I have quite a bit of experience coaching in that situation. The first one was even louder, and as we said, as soon as she started scoring points, the crowd started getting louder. She started getting louder, and then Kroll had it wasn't a takedown, but she had a really good double leg and picked up Gels and put him down, and you could hear the crowd. They were wrestling at the same time, so that was really cool. And just a lot of buzz when they were wrestling, which is really neat.
And I think Enchantia, great competitor. And I know he made a comment on the Instagram, which it just is, man. And that was just how it goes, and that's how the sport is. And it was really cool, man. I thought it was awesome. And that was a great way to like go Friday night, right? And it could be the last one. We don't really know, but it sounds like they're going to sanction, and I think when they sanction, it's going to be girls wrestle girls and boys wrestle boys.
Yeah, I know that it is a little bit controversial, but especially with Kroll and Ocampo, who have had a ton of success against the boys. I kind of hope they wait 1 year so they can finish their 4 years.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. But it's also it's one of those things. Do we hold up the other 1,000 girls for 2 girls? And I would honestly. Someone made a great comment at the coaches meeting with Falcons. Is like, will these girls that are in it right now, will they be grandfathered in to wrestle against the boys? And I would love that. Honestly, I would be like, okay, you can wrestle against the boys if you want, because I would like that. So we'll see. Maybe you never know. The IHSA does listen. They might not do what you want them to do, but they do listen, and they have a bigger goal in mind than like I said, 2 girls out of 1,000. Do we hold up everybody because of that? That's tough to do. That is one of the hardest things to do, because while they are great, we can't hold back the other 1,000 girls. So this is my spiel. But
yeah, back under the bracket, it was really cool.
Yeah. We should have started at 150 like they but yeah, because we had the heavyweight because 106 was in that second session, but yeah, go ahead on the rest of the bracket.
Yeah, Shetley over Hamilton by fall. Newell over Moore 5-4. Hoist Malone over Morrow 9-3. Ocampo with the win. Jensen Boyd with a tech fall over Holloway. Gels over Crawl. We talked about that. Jessup over Bismeyer by fall. And Mason Jones over Charlie Fleshman by fall. So that first round, couple quick, pins, and then some really exciting matches. Quarterfinals. I mean, Shetley looked awesome all weekend. He was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tech fall over Tegan Newell 16-0. Or Tajan Newell, as he's on the streets. Hoist Malone over Ocampo by fall. Boyd 6-2 over Gels. Mason Jones 7-3 over Jessup, a rematch with Al Smith. Boyd and Jones, I know they wrestled at IPO. I thought that was going to be a really good match. Jones 10-2 decision. Shetley 4-3 over Hoist Malone, which Malone ended up killing in the third and fourth place match. I was really surprised. I think he was up pretty big and then pinned Boyd. I know they had wrestled at Mooresville early. And then Shetley 3-2 over Jones in the finals. I thought that takedown was a little and not to take anything away, who knows. I thought that first takedown they could have went potentially dangerous. I thought Mason's knee was kind of twisted up in there. And then also they let that leg kind of stay trapped for a long time without a count or anything, probably about 30 to 40 seconds. Stall there, which I thought was normally a count. Later on in the match, when they hit Shetley for a stall, would ended up tying and sent it to overtime.
Yeah. That usually, if you trap a leg like that, they don't have a count like they do in college, but they do have an internal count. So yeah, that was a really weird sequence. It's like, okay, we're gonna get we were waiting for the stalemate or the potentially dangerous, and then it's like, oh, that's a takedown, and then they just sat there for quite a while.
Ends up being the difference in the match. Ocampo over Newell, Gels over Jessup 6-4, and then Gels 3-0 over Ocampo, Jessup over Newell. So Shetley wrestled really well, and his only loss was to Campbell this year. I think they said there was a controversial call that went against him there. I hadn't gone back and watch it, but really impressed with Shetley. He still looks pretty small. I wonder if he can make it a 6 again next year. I'm not sure. I didn't see the weights.
Yeah.
Rex Brewer, former official, agrees.
Former state finals official.
I have an official on the payroll I like to reach out when I think there's controversial calls. Sometimes he tells them I'm wrong. Sometimes he tells me I'm right. Sometimes I'm telling him I'm wrong. I'll only tell you guys when I'm right.
And sometimes he gets police escorts out of events.
Yeah, he got a police escort out of an event yesterday.
That's how you know you did a good job, right?
Yeah, out of Northwestern too. Yeah. Said
yeah.
They didn't want to challenge him to a spelling bee. My man's smart, bro.
So, anything else at 103? I think it was it was a good
6.
weight class.
Oh, 6.
Or 6, I meant. Cheesy Pete's.
Taking it back to like 2005. I like it.
Yeah.
You saw that Usher halftime show and you thought we were coming back.
Yes. So yeah, great weight class, great matches, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more. What was it? Only 4 number ones, one state. So
5 was the lucky number, man.
yeah, number 5, and I went through it after. I'm like, man, that seems really low, but we're looking at the rankings and who.
How many preseason ones won it though?
Well, we can see that. Give me a minute, and I will pull that up. But I was looking through the rankings, and I'm like, where could someone have been higher? Shutley was 5.
Lost to Campbell. Campbell missed weight.
Yeah, he lost to Campbell. Campbell was 3. So
Jones and undefeated.
You could have maybe put him over Brady Bird. That would have been not, but he couldn't be higher than Campbell, and so that was kind of, that's one of those ones that were interesting. Obviously, Boyd beat Jones. Jones probably would have been number 1 anyway if he didn't lose that IPO. So it's just interesting to see, and I'm like looking through a few of them, and which ones could we justifiably been put higher, and I really don't think there were anyone that.
Well, the next weight made me feel good, so we can go on. Next weight was probably good.
Okay, yeah. 113. Go ahead and calculate the number ones that won it.
Well, I think, and it's the pickups are going to be different. I actually picked Mason Jones to win, so I'm not going to sit here and lie. I picked Revan Dickman to win last year, but you have to go with the result. It can't just be a pick-em. I try to do it by what's on the paper and not always what I'm going to say with my heart, right? And I didn't even know Revan Dickman then. I barely know him now, but last year, Lane Horn had a win over him at IPO, and that was the determining factor. This year, Jensen Boyd had a win over Mason Jones at IPO. I mean, that was just the determining factor. And last year, Lane didn't lose to the semi-state. We lock it at the state finals. I could probably do a top 5 every week, and I don't know if I still would have changed it like that. I probably would have changed it up a little bit. I can give you my top 5 confidence picks of what I think is going to happen every week.
Yeah.
If people are interested in that, it'll be its own YouTube channel. Confidence picks with Mr. Riser. No. But I did miss 2 years in a row. Chris is not wrong.
Yeah. You had 6.
Yeah, I missed a lot this year, so.
You had 6 number 1s. Dickman, LaRocca, Hockaday, Lavelle, we had him at 44. He did win at 38, so I'll count that one. Crasia, and then Will Clark, I believe, is the last one.
Sometimes the preseason rankings are a little bit closer to my heart, a little bit more picking with what I'm seeing if you don't go to IPO. So sometimes we look back and they're a little bit better than they are in the final because you have too much data. Yeah. 13, this one made me look good. I mean, we top 4. I think it finished 1, 2, 3, and 4, right?
Yes. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Bollinger over Gavin Ash, 18-5. Braden Volt, did not have him ranked. He was not ranked in the semi-state. I was really impressed. I would tell you he will be ranked next year. I guarantee Braden Volt, if he lives in the state of Indiana, even if he's not living, I'm going to throw him in the rankings even if they move.
Yes.
Revan Dickman over Carrington Cooper. Revan Dickman's really good. I had a pretty LinkedIn person with Division I wrestling. There was 2 people that they asked me about, and one was Revan Dickman and the other one was Weaver, and they were really impressed with them and just kind of asked I'm sure those guys are getting calls from somewhere. I don't know them like that, but they were very impressed with how they performed over everybody in the finals. Just their defense and positioning is something that they look at a lot, and they said both of those guys are high level defenders. Nathan Reyes and Brady Harper over Reyes. Getz over Doherty by fall. Schaefer, Jalen May was a pretty good one on Friday night. We kind of knew in that first session that the Modern Day crew was going to be loud and excited.
Yeah.
And that match, that was in the second session, it got loud. Yes. Jalen May pulled it out. Rio over Salazar, and then Gavin Lewis over Sully Frazier. Rio over Lewis, 3-1. Sawyer, that was a good match too. May over Getz, sudden victory. Dickman over Harper. Dickman fall, 6-0 win, 5-0 win. I don't think he gave up an offensive point all tournament.
It's not bad.
No, we talked about it after Ironman. He's pretty good. I have it on pretty good information that his mom thinks he's just okay.
That is an exact quote. It might be on the pre-show on Thursday.
It might be on the pre-show on Thursday. She said he's just okay. I said, how many state titles does he have to win before he's just like not that he's really good? How many world champs like Don Bravo does he have to beat?
Yeah.
There's probably guys from Azerbaijan that's like, that guy's not winning, championships at their tournament. He's a world champion.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Dickman.
But not how I said it in a different language, I'm sure.
I will say he's pretty good.
I would second that.
Yes.
2 years in a row, the top, three of the top three is from Mooresville. Two.
Yeah. Top three. Bollinger's not from Mooresville, though, Christopher.
He said if you live in Muncie, he refs for the mean streets of the south side of Muncie. Yeah. He's told me that for years, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, just because one Muncie kid goes to Center Grove doesn't mean they all do. So 3
of the top 4. We just misquoted them. Rio, really good. And I know we said this on multiple shows, and I told Dickman to their face, those guys gotta go different weights next year. Dickman said that in his interview. That was like his first drilling partner when he was a kid. I would assume at some point those guys have to say, hey, I'm going to go this, you go that. I'm hoping that they can kind of separate. Not good for the rest of the state, but that'd be good for the contenders. They can have one more on that Monday night after state to have at the appreciation night.
Are they like those kids in practice that no matter how hard you try to get them separated, they just drill together all the time? Like, those are the kids that, like, dude, you need to drill someone else so you get a little bit different feel, this and that, and they just always, like, drill together. Is that kind of like how they do? Like, oh, we got to go to the same weight class. We've always gone to the same weight class. So...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're besties. They want to make sure that they know that they're cleaning out the way from everybody else.
Yeah.
So then on the backside, Vols, again, really great weekend. Beat Harper 4-2. Lewis over Getz. Lewis for a fall in the 5th place match. Bollinger over Sawyer May, which was a rematch from the semi-state finals, right?
Yep, that was a overtime match. It was a end of regulation. Bollinger won.
Getz over Harper. So a lot of how many freshmen are in there? Is Getz a freshman? No,
Getz was got Vols, Harper,
Lewis.
Schaefer, and Gavin Lewis. Getz is a sophomore. So
that's it'll be interesting to see where those guys all end up in the next coming years. I know I think Lewis won his middle school state title at 26. It'd be hard for me to see him back at 13.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think Dickman's going to start kind of growing into that college weight. I mean, he's pretty tall. Like, I don't know what they're looking at for college, but he's probably like closer to 33 probably.
Yeah. I could see him just once he fills out, he could easily be 41 or 49 just as tall as he is if he fills out and finds the weight room.
Yeah, I mean, they have a really nice weight room at Brownsburg.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Not as nice as Crown Point's, but...
Crown Point has a really nice... I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but Crown Point does have a nice weight room. They have I got their coach, an XL lifting coach. Shirt. I gotta get that. He's a fan of the show.
Nice. So, anything else? 113? I don't think there's anything.
I think it's... When we're going to talk about it a little bit, I think it's pretty unique that we have 2 guys from the same team vying for 4 titles, which is really cool.
Yeah. So 120, that's where some of the fun started happening.
Yeah. Good weight. Really good weight.
Yeah. Pretty wide open weight. Gendress over Kessinger. Frazier over Henry for Rote. Charlie LaRocca. Kay Jackson over Jet McGuire in their conference rematch. Big upset right off the bat, or early on. Richard Rogers. You've been riding that Richard Rogers train over Tanner Tishner.
I'm a Richard Rogers fan, man. I am. And yes. I became a bigger Richard Rogers fan this weekend, actually.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to go big move. Pretty exciting wrestler.
Yeah. No, that was a huge upset. And, over the senior Tishner, who has a couple state medals. And that was not a good start. That was not a good weight for Fort Wayne. I thought Tishner could possibly run it to the finals. And that didn't happen. So, yeah, that was pretty surprising. Ty Henderson over Cameron Woods. Seth Auburn, or Isaac Ash over Seth Auburn. That was a match that we had kind of pinpointed as a pretty good match. Where it was Ash was a 7 and a 2. So
yeah, both state medalists Friday night. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, and then Yant over Hunter Douglas.
Weirdly, we got to see a lot of these guys when we were at lunch on Friday, right? Was it Friday? In between rounds, we met Seth Auburn's mom there.
Yeah.
Her dad was the first sectional qualifier, which back in the day used to be the regional semi-state for Calumet, in 1978, I believe. So gotta always pull for Seth. We met Hunter Douglas' dad. I know Bobby Joe was talking to me. It sounds like he might come up to the region and do a little bit of training. But Chance Yad, really good Friday night match with Tech Fall. That Auburn and Ash match was right in front of us. Ash with the win. Henderson, you could hear the modern day guys getting crazy the whole time. He did really well. So that was a good Friday night round. The quarters, not as close. Ash 13-2 over Yant. Henderson 9-4 over Rogers. LaRocca 9-1 over McGuire. And Gendris Tech Fall. And we had said it a lot, and I know, and I'd say it again. Gavin Gendris was wrestling as good, if not better than anyone in the state coming to the state finals. Mm-hmm. I thought, he went back to back 19-4, 19-4, and he had beat LaRocca a couple times. I know he beat him once this year. Yeah. It was a major at Team State, right?
Yeah.
I know he had beat him the year before at Al Smith. So they felt that they had his number, and Charlie wrestled a really good match. That 4.77 GPA came out and, put together a good game plan and slowed down the Gendris' offense, and he ended up winning 3-2.
It was a 9-4 match at Team State.
So it was not a major. Henderson over Ash and sudden victory. So Mater Dei got one in the lights right there. Gendris ended up going 16-6 major in the third and fourth place match. Frazier 5-0 or 1-0 over McGuire. Ant 11-1 over Rogers. So good weight for Newcastle. I mean, that's all four of their guys in the medal round the backside. Yeah. McGuire ended up 7th. Frazier ended up 5th. LaRocca getting a second state title. I'm sure that felt like there was a lot of people against him in there too. And I think he said it in his interview. He just remembered he was the man.
Yeah. No, that's the right. I mean, he came to Russell last year. Kind of was a little bit. He wasn't number 1 last year. I can tell you that much. I don't know where because he had a couple losses and came and put on a show and ended up under the lights again and winning again. And that was a huge match over Gendris, and obviously that was a very much team points right there for both teams, and that was huge for them to get that win, and it helped Brownsburg. It helped Center Grove. I mean, Center Grove beat.
Look at that, Mooresville Regional County helping county. Look at it.
Yeah. So yeah, they Center Grove ended up winning by or getting second place by half a point. So obviously that match, you can point obviously a half a point you can find a million different places, but that match right there, LaRocca winning 9-1. That's a point that gives them that edge.
Yeah.
So
I think, he's wrestled really well. Back-to-back state tournament. He's had a great career, but the state tournament back-to-back, he's really turned it on. So Charlie LaRocca killing it, man. Congratulations.
Yep. 126. Hawkins, one of the bigger matches, Hawkins over Neil Mosier 1-0. Friday night, Reynolds over Gavin Bragg 4-0.
That was a really good match, too.
Yeah. Brain Daniels over Dylan Bennett 6-2. Daniels the first placer in since 91 or something.
They said there's only 240 kids at his school?
Yeah, it's really small. Luke Rio over Eli Brody 6-0. Gardner Butt over Finn Douglas. Cody Rawls over Lane Horn 9-5.
Shout out to the Floyd Central crew, man. We stopped in the rooftop. Seating was booked. They gave us a couple beers.
Yeah.
Thaddeus Douglas' son. He'll be back next year. So you got a fan of life from On the Rise, Mike Reiser over here.
Yep. Matthew Maldonado over Drew Walden, and then Isaiah Schaefer over Peter Wynn from Garen Catholic. Wynn was a 3-time qualifier, looking to be their first placer. Didn't quite get it done. Had a tough draw. So obviously that top quarter bracket is the one that everyone circled like, okay, this will be interesting. Hawkins over Mosier 1-0. Mosier has 2 state medals. That was tough.
Yeah. Kind of, just one of those matches that was, slow and grinding. And if Hawkins gets a point, a lot of times he's going to be able to, if he gets the lead, it's going to be hard to beat him. Mm-hmm. I think and we'll talk about the next match, like you have to kind of go at him and get the lead and, kind of push the pace on him. I thought that Rallis and Lane Horn match was crazy. I had Lane. I thought Lane was going to win, so Rallis went out there and you're right. He was throwing headlocks. He brought the headlocks to the show.
Yeah,
we ain't lying.
Yeah.
So that was a good win for Jay County. Quarterfinals. We'll start at the bottom. Schaefer over Maldonado, 15-3. A couple wrestling names. A lot of lineage there.
Yeah.
I heard Schaefer's dad makes some pretty good sausages at the hospitality room. Both days I did not get them, so I'm a little sad. I might go down to Evansville now. My weekend for Modern Day Classics book because I'm going to be on the mic at the Al Smith again. Bud over Rouse, 6-4 overtime. Rio over Daniels, 13-0. And then Reynolds over Hawkins, 4-3. Tight match. There was a call right at the end. I thought it ended up going takedown and one escape. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a toss-up. I was on the other side of the building. Obviously the coaches didn't think it was a toss-up enough to question it at the table. And then great coaching by Brownsburg there. Reversed 2 tight losses to Hawkins. Mm-hmm. And essentially, you can go through the whole bracket and find several matches, but could have won him his team title.
Yeah, you got a head-to-head in that position, and we talked about it earlier. You have a head-to-head opportunity to knock someone down. You're already guaranteed top 4 there, so he can't even come back to, it's not, we don't have the full Russell back, and So that means he at best he can get his 5th. Reynolds already get those top 4 points. That's huge. There's a lot of points there. We
talk about that a lot, and whether we talk about it on here or we talking about it on the streets or at tournaments, wherever you catch us. Like, to win the title, you have to have guys in the semis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, having medals is nice, but having semifinalists, almost trumps it. So the more semifinalists you get, the better chance you're going to have to win that, and that's a huge win for Reynolds. That's a match I'm sure that they looked at 1,000 times. It was close at Team State. It was close at Carnahan. And this time he pulled it out. Rio over Reynolds. I know they had kind of gone back and forth. I think Reynolds beat him last week and Rio beat him the week before, right?
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
1, 2, 3.
Schaefer over Butt 3-1. And then Modern Day back-to-back in the finals. And, man, congratulations to Rio. Didn't make it last year. I believe Schaefer knocked him out at the semi-state. Mm-hmm. Came back, gets under the lights. For all the wins the Rios currently have as a family, and from what everyone tells me, I've only had limited interaction, that they're one of the best families, the nicest people. He's the first state champ in the family. Congratulations to the Rio family. Dude, that's awesome. I'm so happy for them. And I think that wherever they're at now, they're only going to keep adding ones. I think they said there's 2 younger ones, and obviously Nate's going to have a pretty good career too.
Yeah, Nate still has 2 more years left, and good family, and obviously they have a lot. They like to wrestle, and that was awesome. 4 times. That's just, and people don't. I guess I didn't explain on the social media 5th time's a charm. Is he a 5th-year senior? No, they wrestled 5 times. But
Reynolds over Butt 3-0, which is another huge point for the Berg. Hawkins over Maldonado in the 1-0 in the 5th place match. Hawkins pinned Maldonado the semi-state. I think he majored him in the duel. So. Closer match the last time. Daniels over Rawls, which was a semi-state rematch, right? From the Wayne.
Yeah, that was sectional and regional, I think, and semi-state.
So really good weight there at 26. A lot of those guys coming back. I thought, and I really did think they should have ended. I think you had maybe you said start with 26, end with 20. So you have Mater Dei on both ends.
Yeah.
But I thought it would have been cool. Like, I think it's gonna be a one and done in Evansville. It'd have been cool to close with a Mater Dei guy. Probably wouldn't have been the happy ending they wanted with Rio winning. Yeah. But like, I'm sure like you can't be upset. Like, he seems like a real nice kid.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good weight. Kind of a little bit of a surprise winner, I think. Where did we have? I
bet he's fifth.
Fifth?
Yeah.
No, he was third.
Oh man, Bobby Joe was giving me the business. He said, "Why is fifth the magic number?"
Yeah.
So it was Schaefer, Hawkins,
and
Rio. Then what? Reynolds 4.
Reynolds 4. Mosier was 5. So yeah, that was the one. Man, Reynolds has end up with 11 losses this year. That's just that is a gauntlet of losses, and the most important one is he avenged it in the most important one in the semifinals. He got them. That's one of those ones that you can really circle that team point wise. So yeah,
I'm sure there'll be several along the way, but yeah, that one was huge. I had anytime you get a head to head against a team that you're battling with, always a good one. Yep. 32, Hayden DeMarco fall over Cole Stuffle. I believe that put Hayden DeMarco as the all-time career pin leader at Chesterton. And if you watch NCAA wrestling, you'll see that there's a ton of Chesterton wrestlers. I think we get that at they're like Chesterton, the national powerhouse. They have the Davisons and they have Sergio Lumley's from Chesterton. Bates has been in the lineup of Corny when he was there. Diego Lemley at IU. And I'm like, nah, I don't know if they've ever won a team title there.
Yeah.
Eddie Goss, Jack Davis. Like I said, man, I'm pushing for my boys from Chittard going forward, man. It's my new crew. I'm gonna get me some Chittard gear. Goss making another trip to the medal round. Jackson Bradley, one of our favorite wrestling families, the Bradley family, over Dylan Fernandez by tech fall 15-0. Keith Parker over Cole Vandegrift. Parker by fall. I thought that was a pretty good match.
Yeah, it was tied when Parker got the fall. Parker was down by 2, got the takedown and the fall late at 55, 55, 51.
Another one of our favorite people, Quinn Harris. Man, the Ben Davis coach, man, he brought that drip though, man. Purple ones matching his jacket. I see my guy out here. Jake Hockaday is really, really good. I'm sure, like, as this bracket goes on, we're just going to kind of talk about how great Jake is and, his future plans. And fall over Isaac Kuhn. Ty Lisner getting a medal over Hayden Fritz. Carter Fielden, Santonio Sessa. The rematch, Sessa 5-1 winner over Fielden. If they get Friday night next year, we're at the check. They might know the formula.
Yes.
And then Tylen Thryne returning chase champ, and Quentin Sheff. There's a call in there. I thought there was a takedown at a Merkel. Thryne wins 7-5. Sheff wrestled him really tough. A couple of sophomores. A lot of sophomores in this weight.
Yeah, especially that last quarter bracket. So yeah, that was a real good match. Sheff didn't back down and got after him. Thryne, there's one thing about Thryne, he can find a way to win, and that was. Sheff almost took away from our semifinal that we were all looking forward to.
Yeah, we were looking ahead, and Sheff almost shook it up. DeMarco over Goss wasn't as many fireworks as the Al Smith. I thought that we can get a customary stare down for each other. It didn't happen. 6-2. Jackson Bradley over Keith Parker 3-1. Hockaday 15-4 over Linzer. He likes to score points. Hockaday's a point scorer. Reattacks are probably some of the best in the state. Thryne over Sessa 5-2. Pretty good match for Sonny there. I thought he wrestled him really tough. So it set up a champ versus champ, undefeated champ versus a 2-time champ in the semis. Pretty exciting match. DeMarco over Bradley by fall. Thryne kind of took it to, or Hockaday kind of took it to Thryne there. I thought, what was it? It was like 7-1 or 6-1 in the first period.
It was 6-1 in the first period. Takedown to near fall. Cuts him, gets another takedown, and Jake really set the tone early, like, hey, I'm the man here. Wrestling a little bit with a chip on his shoulder. Obviously, he wanted to win for his team also and stuff like that. and it just was one of those things that you could tell he was wrestling obviously for himself, but also he had his team behind him. That was obviously earlier with the Reynolds win and stuff. Brownsburg got on a roll. They won some matches that were kind of toss ups, and that was a big match that they knew they had to have, and he put it on him. I mean, there's no question.
Hanging out with those guys on Thursday night. Was it Thursday or Friday night? Which one? What? Just kind of talking to those guys a little bit, and just they're a really tight knit group of families. I mean, a lot of teams are. But I really do feel like we talked about it, like the momentum started rolling for those guys. Dickman goes out there and gets it done. And then you get this huge win from Reynolds. And then Jake goes out there. Now the ball is rolling. Mm-hmm. And now you're like, oh, man, like now we're starting to get guys in the semis. Like who doesn't want – like everyone's going to be a semifinalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone knew that was the one that, you had your ace in the hole right there, Jake. Going after another obviously he has another, kid that was a state championship on a notch on his belt right there.
A guy that was, we walked away last year. That was the biggest star of the tournament. Mm-hmm. Like Tylen Thrine was the star of the tournament last year.
Yeah.
And Jake hung a major on him. Jake bonused everybody, right?
Yep.
Finals. I thought DeMarco would kind of be a funky matchup for him, and nah, Jake just kind of buzzsawed it through. Got a fall. I think he hit it on the nose. Like the state finals becomes easier because he's training for bigger events. Mm-hmm. And that's true. Like he is. Like I'm sure he's looking at, the biggest events this summer. I don't know if he's doing U17s or whatever, he's doing all that stuff, but he's a guy that can compete in that high level stuff. He's probably the best guy in Indiana right now. Mm-hmm. Pound for pound, especially like all the seniors going out. We'll have updates for you guys next week. But he's pretty amazing, man. He's really, really amazing. He's going. Jake Hockaday says he's going to Vegas. Go to the after weigh-ins. Go to the Venetian. I forgot what it's called, the cafe. My guy Bobby Joe let you know. It's where all the UFC fighters go out after weigh-ins for fights because it's open all night. Go to a chicken parm, bro. Top level. Unless you don't eat chicken parm, I don't know what else they sell, but that's what I got there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear that he's going to go like U17s and stuff and push, look to make a world team, which is, I honestly, and I don't know if we said that on here. I think we have, but it's just one of those things. Like I look at those guys that get on those world teams, Jesse, VZ, and just those guys that are able to get to that world team level. That means you see those kids just take jumps, and it's.
You take the best guys in our state, and then you go train them with the best guys that represent our country. And then you go train with the best guys in the world.
Yeah. They go to all the world team camps, and that is huge to be able to go to those world team camps. Now you're wrestling with all the best guys in the country, and you're surrounded by the best coaches in the country. Especially like the U17s and U20s. A lot of college coaches are hanging around there because they're trying to recruit guys. And so you're going to have just, all the best coaches are out there helping, and you're getting just, that's like a cheat code. Obviously, it's not easy to make those world teams and be able to go to those camps, but that's a cheat code. And we really saw when Jesse made his first cadet team, he really, obviously he was really good. I think he took it to a different level after he was on that team. VZ was the same kind of way. He's been on those teams, and I know he's really taken some long. I mean, that's huge to be able to do that kind of stuff, and I think people don't understand a lot of what goes on there.
Yeah, I think and obviously I got to hear pretty good from Hector, and he would say like the guys that they were hanging out with and picking those guys' mind and seeing how they train really helped Jesse out, which was always crazy because like they're obviously in a conference and they have to wrestle some teams that maybe. I remember Jesse had to wrestle after he was like fifth in the world, he wrestled like a first-year wrestler on like Wednesday night, and I'm thinking like, this kid probably doesn't even know he's wrestling like a world medalist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, at least he can. After he figures that out, he can tell everybody, hey, I wrestled him. Kind of like your brother talks about wrestling Circus.
I almost caught this dude one time. He was good, but I had him. Like referee screwed me.
Yeah. No one has any video or anything.
Yeah,
So
we got that. We get that story more than anything. Thrine over Bradley in the third and fourth place match. Goss over Sessa. Sonny did work, man. Got a win over Lisner. Got his team some more bonus points on the backside. Goss over Parker and Linzer over Parker. So really, really good weight there. It'll be interesting because I think there's some really intriguing matchups. Jake's jumped 2 weights every year. It'll be interesting to see where he goes next year and kind of see where some of the guys fall.
So what are we looking at? We are looking at
38.
38. Another fun weight class.
Grand Lux and the Venetian. Bobby Joe just got back to me. Jake, after weigh-ins, go get the chicken parm at the Grand Lux and the Venetian. Open 24 hours, man. Fire. It's in the back, though. It's in the way back.
It's in the way back. Yeah. Usually they don't have that much time. It's same-day weigh-ins now.
Yeah.
So
Well, tell him you know Dana White, 'cause I think he's a regular there.
nice. Yeah, that'll work. Tell me you know Darren Elkins. He'll vouch for you.
He'll vouch for you.
Yeah. So he wears IndianaMat stuff. He'll know you. So 138. Cairo Lavelle, Tech Fall first match. Chase Stevens 32-second fall. Tony Wood major. Justice Thornton over Wesley Smith in a real good match 7-6. Brady Eisen fall. Jalen Covington over Lincoln Carter kept Eastside off the podium. 8-4. Then Whitehead over Cam Dews and Clinton Shepard over William Vander Lugaten. And Vander Lugaten not getting pinned here, something that you can kind of point to that helped them get a trophy.
Lavelle looked great Friday night, and just every time I've ever seen Lavelle, I'm always really super impressed. I know that there was a post today, and it's going 100 different ways, and there was a bunch of stuff this whole week. We talked to Gil and Riley after the state finals, and I think the Citadel's getting a good one, man. It'd be interesting to see him in that baby blue and not the black and gold, but killed it, right? Luke Reed, super nice kid, was at our hotel. Got to talk to him a little bit. Sophomore, he'll be back. Chase Stevens, really good. Got a 32-second fall. I was like, this is going to be a good match. I look away, and Chase Stevens is walking out the mat and giving coaches hugs. I was like, oh, man. So I went back and watched it on video. Chase is really tough. He'll be in the mix where he falls at next year to be under the lights, 41-4. Come a long way since you get all those matches to Triple B, right?
Yeah.
We were kind of sleeping on him as a sophomore, and hey, dude's killing it, man. Now he's got a medal. Tony Wood, real tough senior. We got his uncle was at the pre-show, at the Thursday night live show.
Yeah.
He's like, "Who's winning 38?" I said, "Oh man, Tony Wood." And then I turned and the Shepherds were there, and I was like, "No, it's Clinton Shepard." And if anyone was there, I would have let him know, man. I'm a people pleaser. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Wesley Smith, Justice Thornton, really good match. Quarterfinal. I thought that Whitehead and Cameron Jude match was really good. Whitehead and we ended up getting a fall late, but I thought it was pretty close up before that. Shep, a 10-3 decision over Whitehead. Eisen, 8-4 over Covington. Tony Wood, 2-1 over Thornton. That was a really close match. I think, was it a late takedown for Wood that got that? Really, really late. He does love the spotlight, dude. It doesn't matter if it's in Indy, if it doesn't matter if it's in Evansville. That dude shows up for the state tournament.
Yeah, he got a takedown with 6 seconds left to win.
Yeah,
so
that was a good match. Lavelle 7-3 over Stevens. Might have been his closest match of the weekend. 9-3 over Woods. That's a reverse. I know that I think Tony Woods had beat him this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like Neil Bailey said, man, when the lights are the brightest, Kyrell shows up. Shepard Eisen with fireworks. I thought kind of Crown Point was right in that ship after, it was kind of steering the wrong way, and they got a win over Brownsburg there. And I thought, okay, well, that's going to separate them. Big win for Shepard there. Medal matches, Whitehead over Covington, Stevens over Thornton, Eisen over Wood. So big points there for Brownsburg on the backside. Whitehead over Stevens and Thornton over Covington. Finals, Shep's up 3-0. Looks like he's cruising.
What, do you want to quote Mr. Benz on that one?
Go ahead.
Dustin's like, man, that 3-0 lead is going to be like about an 8-0 lead for Shepard. And then
Yeah.
right on cue.
Well, I said I don't think so because I think Kyrell has a lot of big moves in his arsenal. I got a pretty good defensive breakdown from probably the person I think is one of the best defensive coaches in the country. He said that like low shin whizzers kind of going away because in college it's easy to fight through that. They were kind of in a spot where I think Shep went with the low shin whizzer instead of like getting his leg back, and Kyrell locked up a cradle. And I remember from the first time they wrestled, they said Kyrell is incredible and locked up a cradle, and that was all she wrote. Then he hit a home run, kicked down the door. He said, "Your celebrations? No, we're celebrating."
Yeah.
Kicks down the door. When he home run, kicked down the door, machine guns the whole crew. I told Noemi that's what I want to see. If she hits a home run this year, I want to see her kick down the door and then machine gun the whole team.
Yeah.
Noemi's my only kid that would do it. OC's just going to shake the umpire's hand and walk off. But I know like I did feel bad for Clinton just because I do know how hard that kid works, and I know he's at weights today. But I think he has some really good coaches with some really good perspective. And I'm not just talking about the high school coaches. I know like from what everyone said, he talked to Andrew Howe, and Andrew Howe said, yeah, like I didn't win my first one either. He lost to Reese Humphrey Saturday night in the finals on a headlock 5-1, and then went off to probably have one of the best careers in Indiana history. Probably one of the most dominant state finals in Indiana history.
Yeah, that had an eerie similarity to Andrew Howe. Of, just like the seniors like, hey, this is still my show. You'll have you're going to shine. You'll shine. Don't worry. And I got it. And that's what Reese Humphrey did. Humphrey went out there and said, no, buddy, this is my show. And I'm going to, your time will come.
Spires kind of hit it even deeper, right? Like how eerie is it to Tommy Cash and Joe Lee?
Yeah.
Like Joe Lee beats Brandon James, right, in the semis, gets to the finals, and then has Tommy Cash. He's winning. I don't remember what he was winning by, and then Tommy Cash ends up locking something up and pins him.
Yeah.
And kind of just weird how that kind of works, but Bubba Jenkins pinned David Taylor before. Just sometimes it happens, man.
Sometimes
he kept out in a similar spot.
Yeah, and it did definitely. Afterward, that's kind of what we're all kind of saying. Like, yeah, Lavelle's like, don't forget about me. I'm still a senior. I'm a champ. I've been in the finals before, and that kind of just that's kind of the attitude he had. 100% the attitude he had. It's like, nah, buddy, you're a good wrestler. I respect you. Don't worry, but I'm not gonna go after you. I'm not gonna let you win this one.
And like I said, man, it's not the end all be all. That's not going to be the defining moment of his career. But you can come back, man. Like some of the best guys that's ever came out of Indiana in the college ranks weren't 4-timers.
Yeah.
Nick Lee's pretty good. He got one title.
Yeah, one title.
I'm hoping, and as a fan, like maybe him and Hockaday hit next year. They have a pretty offensive style. We could probably get to see that a couple times through the year. I don't know how much Jake was pulling. I know that Shep wasn't pulling a lot. So maybe they link up at 38, maybe 44. Jake jumps 2 weights every year.
Yeah.
It's kind of been his thing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Because that'll be interesting because both kids might even go outside of a weight that's maybe they're not cutting as much because both those teams have a lot of guys returning. So we're gonna, they're gonna probably both those guys can kind of dictate where they want to go, but they could also say, hey, coach is like, hey, we need you to go 44 because all these guys are moving up and we're trying to fill in here and there. So it'll be interesting where those weights all kind of line up.
Well, I think it'll be a different pace for Jake than the last 2 years, right? Yeah. Like, who's the returning champ that he's going to go to knock out? Because
he's got one at 38 and 40. Well, I guess he doesn't have one at 38. He has to go up to 44, go after Doster.
So whatever weight Doster's going to go, we're about to go into it, right? So, like, last year he knocked out Ashton Jackson, who was a 2-time champ looking for his third. This year he beats Thrine in the semis. It's kind of what he's doing, right? He's taking out some big names.
Yeah, his hit list. I'm bringing it up.
He's kind of doing that Jesse Mendez, right?
Yeah.
Mendez, that first year went with Curtis and Watts, and then what was his senior year? He went Borman.
Yeah. So, Hallaby, Bailey, Nathan Smith, and Gavin Gendris. The Gendris one, Gendris has 2 more years. I'm pretty confident Gendris will get a title.
1 more year.
Oh, shoot. He only has 1 more year, doesn't he? Wow.
2, 5, 3.
I'll give him a free red shirt. He can go for 2 more years. I like him. Then you beat Mosier, and then Ashton Jackson, and now this year, Thrine. So that's, he's had a pretty good hit list of wrestlers. And he dominated a lot of them. So
we're doing exactly what happened on the post, man. We're sidetracking and taking away from Kyrell's shine by talking about other people in there, man. Kyrell, congratulations, man. Great career. Good luck at El Cid. Get that baby blue singlet, man.
Yeah. So 144. This was one that a lot of people were saying was going to be kind of wide open. It was very much so.
And I'm cute.
Czar Walker over Marlon Williams, major decision. Parker Reynolds over Colton Bolenbacher. Christian Arbery over Avery Stanley. Branson Weaver over Brody Haywood. Reese Courtney over Emilio Lisciano, 21-7. Missed the top fall. Jeffrey Hyvert, 10-0 over Bryce Doss. Dylan Graham over Malone Kirksey. And then Easton Doster fall. Marlone Doster over Gabe Rose. Shout out to
Gabe Rose, man. First qualified for Switzerland County, Triple B trained.
Yep. So pretty much, I guess Weaver over Haywood would have been a little bit of an upset. Everything else kind of went to chalk.
Yeah, I know talking with Josh Reynolds, I got to hang out with him a good amount this weekend. He was giving Parker a little bit of the business. He was like, you got a big in that first period at 7-1. A major maybe looks a little bit better if we end up losing by by 1 point. It was going to be close.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to talk about the team race. And he's like, don't say that. I think he told me punch him in his throat. But bonus points for those guys are going to be huge. Walker over Reynolds, 6-0. Arbery close over Weaver. It was a close takedown late, right?
Yeah.
Or sudden victory. I think you got to take down late to tie it up too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Owen Valley doesn't get many guys in the semifinals. It's been a couple days.
Yep. Courtney over Hyvert was a rematch of last year's state semifinals. I know there was a lot. And not to take anything away from Hyvert's season. I thought he had a really good season. He broke the takedown record. But I know that was a match that they were looking forward to, and I thought Courtney really controlled the entire match there. Doster 7-6 over Dylan Graham. Then Doster over Courtney 3-1. Walker over Weaver 4-3. That was a good match also. In the medals, you got Parker Reynolds over Arbery 3-0. Hyvert over Graham 10-2. Arbery over Graham, and then Hyvert 1-0 over Parker Reynolds. Pretty good. Courtney 4-2 over Weaver. And then, Dave was rapping presents for a long time. I think he was rapping individual weights to hand to his kid. I think some creatine, definitely like some diet plan. Dude was jacked, man. Easton's in here, man. He's looking big.
Yeah. I was gonna say the top 8 ranked wrestlers all placed 1 through 8. So
man, it's like sometimes I do a good job.
pretty impressive.
We're coming up. I'll admit I didn't do a good job at one, and I'll tell. I'll definitely give a shout out. Yeah, dude, Doster looked great, man. That match with Czar in the final, it was a situation that it looked like Czar got kind of hurt, kept continuing. I think, did they call it illegal slam?
Yeah, they did. They called it an illegal slam. So.
I'm happy that he was able to continue, and first state champ for New Haven, or right? Is that what they said?
For the Bulldog, the purple northeast Bulldogs.
That was, I'm not going to take Caleb. I'm going to tell everyone that was Caleb's thing. He said maybe that's what Dog Pound Road was saying. It was just He's had Bulldogs in the finals. Maybe he didn't meet Crown Point. He met, New Haven and Brownsburg.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe we should ask him.
Dude, shout out. Yeah, we'll find out someday. He did send me a message and kind of explain what was going on. But Doster over Walker, that was a really good match. Dude's a really good athlete. We talked about people with lineages. His dad's a pro baseball player. I think he's handing out baseball cards. Unfortunately, I haven't got one yet.
Oh.
But I don't really collect baseball cards. I don't know what I would really – maybe I'll put it on my fridge. But that was really cool, man. It was cool to see a team get their first champ. I know that kid's been working hard. I know I said it before. He was up in the region training with Evan Stanley. Joe had sent me some of the training videos they were doing. Those dudes were working really hard, man. Mm-hmm. Real strong kid, and he'll be back. So it'll be interesting to see where he was. He made some jumps, too. He's jumped a couple weight classes. He won 13. Won a bat?
Oh, man. He's giving you a bat. You need something to defend yourself.
So he what do you go? He went 13 to 32, 32 to 44.
Yeah.
So what does that say? He's going to be 57 next year?
Yeah, I mean, he's not small by any means. So, easily could be 57. Could be. I mean, who knows? That'll be interesting to see where he lands and where everyone else does there too.
Yeah, so. He's good. Man, I might have to. 150.
150. Wyatt Krejcia, not getting paid by the hour. We've said that multiple times. Christopher, he beat Mason Adams, Western Boone. Christopher Bone over Luke Toish. Braden Getz, has some Madison lineage, but not Triple B trained. Over Alex Smith from Heritage Hills. Captain Novacek over Jaden Jett. And that's one that we'll talk about a lot. He did real well this weekend. Very, very good tournament for him. Wesley Harper over Brady Haywood. Tyler Vanover. Shout out to his family over Carson Fede. 2-0. And then Hunter May. He looked like he was ready to wrestle this weekend.
He was.
13-2 over Moses Stevenson, and then Chase.
Some crazy. I mean, that's craziness. It just says forfeit on my bracket now.
Oh yes, it does. Oh geez, I was reading.
Aiden Elkins.
Elkins over.
And sometimes when you're a kid, you don't make those stress decisions. I mean, sometimes when you're an adult, you don't make the smartest decision.
Yeah.
And it's hard as an adult to let things go at times, and I think he got kind of hit with the first. I mean, it was right in front of us. He got hit with the first misconduct, and then the second one, I think he just kept chirping. And I'm someone that probably happens to me a lot, and I like to argue and then keep it going a little bit. That's an unfortunate thing, man. It really does suck because you don't get a medal, right?
No, he doesn't get a medal. There is no state 8th place finish So.
That happened with this. I talked to Coach Watkins, and he was asking on Friday night, he said he asked an old timer about the craziest thing, and I actually asked Rex Brewer, and he told me 1977 they DQ'd the champ and the runner up. So in 1977 there's no right. Is it 77?
Something like that. Yeah, there's double stalling. They double stalled him out, which had to be just. Could you imagine? What and it wouldn't matter what match it was. Can you imagine if a ref double? Do you think he'd need a police escort?
I like to think it was the general with long hair. 1972.
Maybe.
I like to think it was a young general. He wants to see wrestling, and he had real long hair back then.
Yeah, and you know what? Even Rex Brewer wasn't even in high school back then. That's how long ago it was. So yeah, could you imagine the boos if there was a double stall? Out.
But what if they were booing the wrestlers? So what if they were just stalling? How much stalling, Joe? You have your official's license. I don't. How much stalling would you have to do to double stall everybody out?
A lot. And we had one time in a conference match where guys got double stalled out, and the best was at the seating meeting. They're like, they're like, who are your losses to? And then we named them, but no one lost. They both lost that match. No one won that match. So that was it was a ref. As I say, oh, here it comes, and double stalled us out. I was like, come on. It's like double overtime. Like, just finish it. Just let them stall themselves. Let them do whatever they're doing. I think it was like 215, 220. I don't know what the exact weight was back at that time, but it was just like, come on. So
Krejci by fall over Bone. Navacek 3-1 over Getz. Like we said, Navacek had a great tournament for the Bulldogs. Vanover 4-3 on a late score for versus Harper. They were going nuts. The Vanovers were amazing all weekend. Amazing people. So anyone from Mater Dei watch this, let them know that we shouted them out, that we really appreciate the hospitality. Hunter May looked awesome. He looked like, for the most cliche thing, he looked like he was on a mission, right?
Yeah.
He went out there, got a quick fall, 141. Semis, he got a fall over a guy he trained with for a long time in Vanover. They said they would wrestle all the time. Krejci tech fall over Navacek. And then in the wrestlebacks, Harper got that match, and then which got Elkins out. Bone, sudden victory, and then Bone with a fall over Harper, which was reversed from the semi-state, and Getz got the forfeit. Navacek 4-0 over Vanover. So he did all he could for the team race. That for the most points, he kind of ran into one of the what everyone felt like was the biggest lock. And Wyatt Krejci, Hunter May. Hunter May went out there and threw out some fireworks, man. You can't blame the kid. He went for broke, right?
Yeah.
He did not. Kelly Terry, we're about to get to the Terry twins. They did really good.
Yeah. Yes. Krejci.
I don't know. Does the forfeit still count on Chase's record? I don't know.
Since the match was completed, I believe it does still count as a loss in his record. So
Krejci showed up yesterday at Indy National to support teammates. He also, in that match, started cleaning up blood on the mat so he can get back to wrestling. I thought it was really good, man. I think he's really, really good. I think you're right. Purdue's getting a really good one.
Yeah.
I think his style's going to translate well. High motor. Seems like a really nice kid.
He'll like the 3-point takedown for sure. I hope we get 3-point takedowns in high school. Can we? Who do we send emails to?
I think the National High School Coach Association.
I think I got an email from him once.
So
I sent a video in.
I just think that's really cool. Like he went out there and did his thing, man.
Yeah, and May went after him. And he put him to his back. I was like, the crowd started getting crazy, and everyone's confidence picks were like, Garrett
Stuckman, the IHSA told him not to celebrate.
Yes.
So the teams that were like they were getting hit for team points. The teams that were in the race didn't.
Yeah.
Real subtle. I mean, Dickman had like a real subtle one. It's kind of it was good. Hockaday shot some arrows, no team point. Let's say 57. Yeah, Wyatt Krejci is really good. If anyone was wondering, he was my vote for Mr. Gorilla.
Yeah.
Today I turn in. I always try to turn into the Mr. Gorilla the first. I hope I was the first this year.
You were close.
Wyatt Krejci was my choice for Mr. Gorilla this year. Only top seniors.
Yeah, you were first. You then Asa Garcia. And then Jeremiah Maggart was first, but he didn't vote for everyone. And then he tried to he thought he was in Chicago and could do multiple votes. So I gave him a hard time about that. But he didn't. I guess he did have like 4th and 5th, so he finished that. So
157, another really crazy weight class, kind of a toss-up weight. Betts over Michael Caine, 7-2. Bo Brabender, a little Mishawaka throwback, 7-3. He had Mason Day. Derek, he was coached at Mishawaka for a long time. Anthony Cashman and Kayvon Russell, really good Friday night match for the Snyder. I'm sure my man's the general, heavy hands out there watching that one for the Panthers. Cashman with the fall in overtime. Van Titcho, Silas Stitz, a really good match, 6-5. Silas Stitz, I know that was a guy you were super impressed with that Ironman.
Yeah.
I thought that's the best match Van Titcho's wrestled the whole year. I know Stitz, I think, beat him three times this year.
Yeah, that was real close because Van Titchell tied it up. Actually, it was up 4-3 going in the third period, and it was close because then they were tied up going in early in the third, and one takedown away from whoever wins basically was overtime there. So good match, and obviously, I mean, we pointed out, hey, that's some team points right there. That's huge team points.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, could be the change, right?
Yeah.
Adrian Platt over Kale Hickok. Hickok, I think, put him to his back for a second too. I think did he go lat drop? It was like right in front of us. I know it got pretty loud, and Platt had him coming back for a fall. Silas Foster, first state placer for Purdue Polytechnical. Congratulations to the Techies, it sounds like.
Yeah, the Techies.
The Techies.
You got the man, the myth, the legend, the professor in the corner. So,
Mr. Michael Morgan.
Yes.
You can see him sometimes at the NCAAs on the camera.
Yep. Yeah, he gets a lot of FaceTime.
Huge win. Freshman Aiden Kincaid got some Hobart blood in him. So he's a little bit of region. We don't claim him like you guys claim the outcast from Fort Wayne. But
oh man, that digs deep.
Good win for him over Gavin Davis, a real tough Belmont kid. I hope Gavin Davis has a healthy senior year. I know he's battled some injuries through his career. I think that he's really talented, and I think he's kind of got bit by the injury bug a little bit.
Yeah. And
then Asher Ratliff of Columbus North, Triple B motivated. I don't know if he's Triple B trained. He's definitely Triple B motivated over Javon Frost of Delphi 5-4. So real good, solid Friday night match. A lot of close matches in that one. Mm-hmm. This was the first session, though. This was in the first session.
Yeah, this was in the first session. So, I think Kincaid's really good. Davis just, the injuries. Davis is one that, I don't be surprised if he's under the lights next year if he's healthy. When he's healthy, he's really good. And getting to where he was right there, with being that is, not being healthy is huge. And his sister goes to Finley, so hopefully maybe he'll go there too. Follow her.
Gotta get an evil eye bracelet, man. Someone got the oho on you. Asher Ratliff, Kincaid, a couple young big guys. Kincaid with the 6-3 win going to the semis his freshman year. Palat over Silas Foster, 8-3. Cashman, Stitz, I think they've had some battles this year. Anthony Cashman making a second trip to the state semifinals. And then Betts over Broadbender. There was a call that the Mishawaka fans weren't happy with in that match. It looked like the right call. Tough match back and forth. Betts, I know they've had a pretty good rivalry. Bo's a great kid. 4-3 win for Betts there. Betts had a beat Michael Cain Friday night. Broadbender was a semifinalist. Then he beat Anthony Cashman, who was a semifinalist, and then reversed the loss to Adrian Palat in the finals. That's a pretty good run for Mitchell Betts of the Western Panthers.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the awards at the end. Kind of we won't tell you who's, because our of the year awards are IndianaMat voted on, and the others are by lots of other people. But we'll talk about those a little bit. And Betts is obviously in the mix for a 2A Wrestler of the Year with another wrestler. So
Foster over Ratliff in the event. Broadbender over Stitz. Broadbender coming back to take fifth with a 41-second fall. Stitz over Ratliff, 10-1. Cashman over Kincaid, 3-2. Palat, Betts, really good match for Betts. Betts, first state champ since his coach, 1991, Chad Shepard, right?
Yeah.
Beat my boy, man. Breaks my heart.
Yeah, so now that was a great weight class. Just kind of, I did pick Kincaid to make the semifinals. I can show you my picks.
I did not.
First state placer for Coach Weimer, so I know he was pretty excited. It's rare that Coach Weimer is excited, but he was extra excited. So.
Yeah, and he had his mustache going, so I hope that thing's off.
Yeah,
so he can go back.
I'm sure his wife probably had the. As soon as that last match, I bet she was waiting in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So.
Betts definitely had a tough road, man. That was 11-1, 5-2. Yeah, no joke, man.
Yeah, and Kane was probably one of the. That's probably the four that I would not want.
Yeah, so. And his coach is pretty tough.
Yeah,
Iron Bear.
Yeah, and that was a conference rematch. So, yeah, great weight there. Anything else?
165.
165. Another good weight here. Duke Myers over Emilio Tirado, 13-6. Jesse Daringer reversed the loss from conference over Xavier Smith. Majored him. Another that was that's one that Brownsburg had circled. I know what he ended up 8th, but that's still 3 points. 3 points is actually 4 because he got the major, so that's huge. Reinhardt over Ethan Smith. Coy Bender over Zach Huckabee. Huckabee making his 3rd trip, 4-2. Waylon Kressel majored Oliver Hallett. Cabe Stebbins from Delta over Isaac Sinks by fall. Then real good match. Brant Beck and Levi Abbott rematch from the what is it called? The Rochester tournament. I'll think about that in a second. And then Evan Rowdy Bush over James Dozier. So
Mac, what is it called?
I know what it's called. I can't think of it.
John McKee.
John McKee, yes. The McKee.
Evan Rowdy Bush, man, one of my favorite. Dude, he's coming back. I'm bringing the house down at the Al Smith with that. Back over Rowdy Bush in the quarter 4-3. Pretty good match there. It was right there in front of us. Kressel over Stebbins. Dude, Kressel looked amazing all weekend. And we'll talk about that. But that's a huge win because I know Stebbins had a really good season, and he ended up tech falling him 17-2. Reinhardt Friday night fall over Bender. Looked like he was cruising. Duke Meyer over Jesse Derringer 13-8. And then in the semis, Kressel over Beck 13-5. Another get some more points for the Warren Central Warriors. And then Reinhardt and Meyer was a really good match. They were telling me on WZBD that Tim Meyer used a similar strategy his senior year, I think, in the state championship match. Kind of got like a really good shot at right at the end and knocked off Reinhardt there 2-1. I think he took Reinhardt down with, 8 seconds left?
Yeah, something like 10 seconds of there. We're all like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got to do something. And then just had a pretty clean, it was a double leg.
Yeah.
Fairly, against someone like Reinhardt, you got to finish quick and clean, and he did. Got that takedown and won that match. Huge win. Belmont Under Lights is something we don't see enough of, so they really like to do that.
And those guys kind of said it when I was up there on the line. They said you can't shoot high C's on that kid. He's too good at cutting the corner, and you got to hit straight doubles and hit a straight double. And I think he went kind of cut across and took him down, and it was clean. And with those guys that are trying to create scrambles and stuff, you have to do it that way. And got a huge win, and I think that was kind of probably at the Gender's point, like Crown Point's night was kind of turning left, and Shepard, you thought kind of right at the ship. You're like, well, Reinhardt, I think they wrestled at Al Smith, right? Reinhardt got a fall.
Yeah, right.
And
was it a fall?
Then you're kind of thinking, man, they're gonna start righting the ship there, and when that happens, you're like, dude, this is like a car wreck. You're kind of slowly seeing it start to fall apart. And so then the medal matches, you had Roddy Bush up 7. What was it?
It's 5-0.
So not a fall. Sorry. Well, they got it in there. Noah Kressel and Rex Brewer. Thank you, sirs. Bender over Derringer, 7-4. Roddy Bush over Bender, and then Stevens over Derringer in the 7th and 8th place match. Back over Reinhardt, took him down, and on the takedown kind of beat his knee up. I think they said he's going to be out for a couple months. I think that was the word today. He went to see Dr. Shelburne, probably one of the best knee guys in the country.
Yeah. Good to have that connection. But, yeah, hopefully he gets healed up and back on the mat. That's great. Good kid and good family, and just, you don't ever see that no matter what.
I think Kressel kind of said it all, man, in his interview. I think me and my brother were kind of talking about it a little bit. It sounded like he knew what he was going to say, and whatever Greg Rigshaw was going to say, it didn't really matter. I think he asked something about, is it cool to have a team? And he's like, I'm the best guy here. When I'm at my offense, I know how good I am. I'm like, all right. And Greg Rigshaw's like, all right, cool, man. Dude, he's really good. And sophomore, it's pretty unbelievable how good he is and how much better he looked here than at Al Smith even. And just getting on his offense, he went 12-4, 13-5, tech fall, 21-9. I'd be willing to bet if we had 3-point takedowns, and this is no disrespect to anybody, I disclaimer before I say this because I don't want to get this email. If they had 3-point takedowns, he'd be killing a lot of people.
Yeah. He wouldn't be on the mat very long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Spikes on, he said, notifications didn't tell me you guys started. We're only about 2 hours into the show.
It's all right. You got a rewind button.
So, yeah, he's really good, man. It's going to be really fun to watch him the next 2 years. I hope he doesn't try to go back to North Dakota. I hope he's an Indiana guy now going forward. He also told me early Saturday morning what was going to happen.
Nice.
Dude, he's really good.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's pretty good, talented, and pretty fun to watch. We only got to see 2 matches of his at Al Smith because he was in the big guy gym. So,
yeah,
seen him run through that bracket, a really good bracket. It was pretty cool to see, and he's fun to watch, and he gets after it. And one of those guys that you say that, man, if everyone wrestled at that kind of pace and that style, wrestling could be a lot more popular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
175.
175. That's a good one. Another one of those that kind of a wide open weight class. Got some fireworks early. Some really good matches. Bray Emerine over Aiden White. Crown Point. Obviously, Crown Point wasn't really expecting to win that. So that wasn't like a big hit to them.
I was hanging out with his dad Saturday night. I'm an Aiden White fan.
Yeah. Kyle Harden over Braxton Russell. 2 guys with state medals. 7-3.
I'm also a Kyle Harden fan.
Yes, big Kyle Harden fan and Kenny Harden fan. But shout out to Coach McGinley, got his 100th state placer.
100th
only a
state
third all
placers.
time to do that. Super good guy. I said congratulations, and it's he wasn't even in the corner most of the time. And when we say it's one of those things that it's like you put it on the head coach, but any of these teams are surrounded by some awesome assistant coaches. And it's so it's always one of those weird things that it goes to the head coach, but at the same time these assistant coaches are putting in the time. They're doing a lot of work, doing some privates. The head coach is just organized. They're doing a lot of things too. It's just you can't just say that it's the head coach because he's not going to be where he is without all those assistants.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the really good coaches deflect to their assistants and tell everyone how good they are. And you see that in the corner, man. You've seen a lot of Mo Guns and Seltzer in the corner for those guys.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, he is.
All right, just double checking. Aiden Costello over Noah Sumner, fall. Michael White over Leish Detweiler. I think that they put his name or something out. What is it? On the pronunciation names. That was a crazy match. They kind of went back and forth. Huge win for Ethan Farnell over Brenton Russell. Another one of the guys I kind of talked up all year. His uncle's been on the chat a lot. Really good career for Brenton Russell. Farnell came out junior, won a 6-4 overtime match. So tough way to end his senior year for Brenton Russell, but the future's bright for Ethan Farnell and McConaughey.
Yeah, that was a good match, and the Farnells they're funky to wrestle. They like to wrestle on the mat, and I just remember seeing him the first time I saw his brother wrestle. He was wrestling Austin Bricky, and he made Bricky look bad. And I'm like, you lost to this big, tall, goofy, big redhead fro. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And then he's pretty good. His brother was pretty darn good, and so is Ethan. Obviously, making the semifinals as a 4, that was huge, and that was cool to see. Good family. Talked to their dad a lot, and so when I first saw him, and then after a little bit of research, said, okay, so his brother's pretty good. So I wasn't as ashamed after the first time.
Zamarian Holyfield from the Fighting Brad Harpers over Cooper McCloy by fall. It was good to see Zamarian Holyfield back out there. I know he took an injury early on. 17-4, really good way to close out a senior year. Noah Klauser, U of India commit, right? We seen that. Got a T-shirt Saturday night. A good win over Ethan Pop. Third trip to the state finals for Ethan Pop of Lafayette Harrison. And then Chase Leach over Silas Fry, 10-7. Leach looked like he was wrestling really good all week, and I'm sure we're going to break that down also.
We can skip 75. I don't think we need to talk about 75.
M. Ryan over Harden, 3-0. Again, good to see Kyle Harden back too. I know he had an injury and had to miss a bunch of bench of the year. Costello over White, 8-2. Farnell over Hollyfield, 11-6. And then Leach 2-1 over Clouser, a really good match, back and forth. Leach pulling it out. I know good year for Noah Clouser. He had knee surgery over the summer, worked his way back, put together a great career. I think he's going to do good stuff at UIndy. I think that's a good choice for them. I know it's close. I don't know how close UIndy is to Greenwood, but I don't think it's very far.
Yeah. He's a mama's boy, I heard. That's what his dad said. Chase won on an illegal move, and I'm watching the video. I can't remember what it was. It was early on, and I don't know if it was a drape. It looked like, I don't know what it was, but we'll figure it out in a second. Or Nick will just post it. So yeah.
Yeah. Or they'll tell you, like, I'm sure someone will let us know.
Yeah.
What their opinion is. Clouser over Hollyfield, 12-4. White over Harden, 2-1. White's only a sophomore, but that kind of surprised us both. We were like, oh, man. Costello, 2-0 over Farnell. We haven't got over the semis yet. Harden over Hollyfield, 7-3. M. Ryan over Costello, 6-3. I think there was a point in that match where there was it looked like it was going to be a reversal. It ended up not. The score ended up being a 3-point score. Huge win for M. Ryan. I know he's been in the mix for a while. Knocking out the number one ranked wrestler. He only had the one loss, or he had two losses. One loss is to Cressel. Cressel bumped up and beat him, right?
Yeah.
Costello will be back, and then Leach over Farnell, a little Fort Wayne on Fort Wayne action. Costello over Farnell, 2-0 in the third place match, and then Chase Leap becoming the first state champion for the Garrett Railroaders.
Yes.
Coming from the second semi-state qualifier from the Garrett Railroaders. You're pretty excited on up there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Chase is a great kid. Coaches are jerks, but he's overcome that. No, it's great to see. It's pretty cool to see. I had to welcome Nick into the club, so I opened the door for him, and we didn't let Book in because he wasn't in the corner. So, so yeah, it was a head scissors. I was just watching that, but yeah, Leach, great kid, and that was awesome for him. Wrestled lights out. I mean, he didn't have an easy route. Clouser's tough as nails, a 2-1 match. Then Farnell's tough to wrestle. I know you know that they've put in the time to kind of scout some guys and know what they need to do against certain kids. And then M. Ryan's big and strong, and Leach was 5 pounds underweight.
That's what I heard. I heard he was eating steaks Friday night.
Yeah, so which tells you don't need to cut weight. Obviously, 165 is a pretty good weight class, but it's something that I know I talked to Nick about. He's like, what do you think about him going 75? I go, looking at who's going where and stuff, I go, looks like it's a pretty wide open weight class. So just it's awesome to see, and good family and stuff, and
super good family, man. Got to hang out with them some. I got the Happy Hotel, I would call it.
Yeah, I'm glad we were in the Happy Hotel. We're gonna make sure we find Happy Hotels more often.
Yeah, if you guys just tell us who's gonna win and who's not gonna win, we'll go book that hotel.
Yes.
No, great, man. And it was cool being up there with you. And I know that's you were by us when the last IndianaMat guy won, and I was pretty excited for AJ Fowler. Yeah. So really, really cool for the Leach family and the whole Garrett community.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool, man.
It's crazy to see the whole growth of the Garrett program, being a part of it. Wrestling, when I wrestled my senior year, we had the most wins in school history, like 14. And now I think Nick would be questioning his coaching ability if he only got 14 wins in a year. So
yeah, Nick's done a great job over there too, man. It's really cool.
Yeah. So it's like Nick just said, we talked about, talking about 175. I'm like, dude, do you need to cut weight? I mean, he could make 65, but that's a freaking gauntlet of a weight class. And not that I don't think he can't beat any of those guys. Cressel, I'll say probably not, but he can wrestle with anyone there. Obviously, Beck is a guy that he was close with last year, so it would be interesting to see what would happen. But he went and got a title, and that's no one's gonna remember anything else. He got a title, and it's pretty cool. He's just sitting there at the hotel. I was like, man, I'm a state champion. So, and that's cool for him, and great kid, and hopefully, I know he's kind of looking at some colleges, and some doors are going to open, and for him a little bit more now, and good for him. Third trip to the state, and Russell's under the lights and gets a title.
Congratulations!
And got a parade. Maybe he'll be the Grand Marshal of the July 4th parade in Garrett.
Nice.
He should be. I mean, I'd vote for it.
Step down the role.
What?
No, that's not you. You don't get to do that.
No, do what?
You're not the Grand Marshal of the 4th of July parade?
No, I'm not. I am, at the 4th of July parade on Victory Bay, I am, but...
I heard you're not even that, bro.
Maybe not.
190, started top. Gunnar Henry over Keith Miller by Tech Fall. Vinny Freeman, Luke Pinola, really good Friday. What I circled, I thought was going to be a great Friday night match. Luke Pinola, Fall 109. Elias Kressel, related, if you're wondering, relation to Kressel, Waylon Kressel. Wabash with a huge win, 9-0 over Colin Kassad. Colin Wetzel, Alex Tatum, 5-2. Got to meet Alex Tatum's parents. Pretty cool story. His dad's from Australia. I guess he's in the Carpenter Union. He's been working a little bit with Drew Hughes.
Oh, nice.
He's a quarterback for their football team. His mom used to she worked in Alaska for a long time. My Alaska geography is not great. I asked her, she was in that part of Alaska that's dark for 30 days. She said no, Anchorage. So Kenny Bisping over Nathan Schaefer, Tech Fall 18-3. Noah Terry, I see the Terrys are in here. Pretty big jacked up twins. So hopefully if you ever need somebody to collect some money down in Tell City, you got to call the Terry twins. They're big kids, man.
Yeah.
Over Eli Coolman, 9-5. Donovan Blair and Caden McConnell. McConnell a 3-2 winner, a real tight one. And then Noah Weaver, Rossville, undefeated over Trey Dunning by Fall. I think we're going to talk a lot about Noah Weaver and Rossville.
Yeah, first state placer for them, and that's really cool. Yeah, he's pretty good. I don't know where you want me in. All these quarters are pretty good.
Gunnar Henry and Luke Pinola. That was one I thought was going to be a really good match, and Gunnar went out there, won 7-2. I was surprised. I thought that was going to be a 3-2, maybe a 4-2 match, and I think Gunnar was up pretty big early, just wrestling really well. Kressel by Fall over Whitesell of New Pal. Kressel got cruising. He was a guy, I think I had him into the semis. I thought he looked, just result-wise, I hadn't seen him a lot except for the state finals. I thought his results were really good. Terry over Bisping in a crazy match, 14-9. Put up 23 points in that match. I think Terry was up big. Bisping kind of made a little bit of a comeback, and then Terry kind of capped it late. Weaver over Caden McConnell, 6-1, beating last year's state runner-up in the quarters. So Weaver went Fall 6-1, beat Trey Dunning and Mishawaka. He'll be back, and then beat last year's state runner-up. Up top, Gunnar Henry by Fall over Kressel. 4 minutes, 46 seconds. And then Noah Weaver, Fall over Terry, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And I think the more we saw Weaver as the day went on, we were like, this dude's the real deal. Yeah. I know they had said that. I know he had beat Pinola a couple of times. Pinola Wetzel, which was kind of surprising in the wrestleback over Pinola, 8-7. I did not see that match. McConnell and ultimate tiebreak over Bisping. McConnell 10-1 over Wetzel, which get that extra point's huge. The advancement point and then getting the major point, because we're about to talk about the team race in about 2 weight classes, which came down to be craziness. And then in the 7th and 8th place match, you had a rematch of the Al Smith with Pinola winning 7-2 over Kenny Bisping. Terry, a 13-second fall over Kressel. I think I was down in the hospitality room eating at that point, or maybe I was back over there. I'm not sure. But 13 seconds, I did not see that, but that's a huge win for Terry. And he will be back. Yep. I thought those guys were closer to the weight. It sounds like their mom said they're not cutting as much weight. They're just big, strong kids. They look bigger and stronger than everybody. I just assumed that they're pulling a little bit of weight.
Yeah, so the top 3 guys return to this weight class. Wetzel and Tatum are freshman, sophomore. And then, Pinola, the other ones graduate. So this is going to be a pretty good. I mean, if they hold, some of these guys are pretty big guys. I'm
Yeah.
pretty positive Weaver knows where the Rossville weight room is. I'm just gonna go on a limb here, and when he is in there, you probably don't want to go because there's not very many weights to use.
I think this is like one of those matches too, and as we get to talk to Noah Weaver, and we've known Gunner for a long time. He used to be in the chat here a lot. These are both really good kids, and I think that it's sad to see one of these guys lose because you know how hard they work and how good they are and how good of people they are. She's the grandma. Sorry, I don't get to
Proud
see that
grandma.
emoji. Proud grandma. Congratulations. Sorry. So Weaver over Henry. That was a good match. Weaver looks really good. His takedowns are clean. His defense is really good. I talked to a guy that's watched a lot of NCAA wrestling. Is around a lot of NCAA wrestling, and he was the second guy who he was really impressed with. I wouldn't be shocked if he's getting a lot of D1 calls right now. And Gunner's already a Division I commit to Wyoming, so maybe they'll run it back next year. I don't know if there's a lot of wiggle room with Brownsburg because they have a pretty good heavyweight coming back, and we're about to talk about a pretty good 215 that's coming back.
Yeah.
Noah Weaver might be going up a weight, so
yeah, that could
who
be
knows
very.
where's gonna
Obviously,
fall.
Terry's probably not going up a weight because unless he wants to wrestle his brother off, right?
He goes up to heavyweight. I don't know who's the Tennessee heavy.
Yeah, so no, that's Weaver. Congratulations to him. The Hornets got their first state placer, state champion. Everything he got everything. He got he was one of their first because him and his brother qualified last year. They're their first qualifiers. I'm pretty certain. So that's pretty neat, and I think he's gonna be pretty good. So
yeah, he's pretty good, man. 215.
215.
Starting right at the top of the bracket, the severely underrated, poorly ranked on my part, Caden Brewer over Preston Duffy. Rossville has some of the best donuts in the state. Brandon Barton, I am going to hit that up. I don't know when I'm ever going to be in Rossville, but I will go have a donut there. I'm starting a donut review show for everywhere I go.
I'm gonna have to. I have a general idea of where Rossville is, but I don't know where it is. I'll be honest.
So Caden Brewer,
just east of Lafayette. I thought it would be a little bit closer to, like, north side of Indy. Man, they're real close to Lafayette.
Mrs. Brewer, I'm sorry, Caden was underrated. Carson Brewer, I thought he was trying to break my kneecap. It looked like Caden had a pretty bad knee injury this year. They posted it on the site as everyone's kind of giving him the business about taking a break when his knee's hurting. They think he's taking a lung break. It looked like his kneecap impaled it, imploded. So before we start booing and calling people out, we probably should get some of those facts right.
Yeah, or just don't do that.
Or don't do that. Yeah, could be easier to do that. So the severely underrated, poorly ranked Caden Brewer. He will not be outside the top 5 ever again. Probably outside the top 3. He has one more year. I don't care if he takes a loss this summer. Unless Noah Weaver goes to 215, Caden Brewer is going to be the number 1 ranked wrestler until he loses in Indiana in high school. And I have to see it, and I have to see 2 forms of identification.
You got to see at least 2 different angles of the
and me
match.
or my brother need to be on site to see it. So he will. That's my promise.
So should we just change his name to Caden? Very poorly ranked. Will never be underranked again.
Yeah, the severely underranked, severely underrated, poorly ranked Caden Brewer.
Okay.
So that's my shout out to Maddie B and Brewer family. Culture Coin, Wyatt Woodall, really good Friday night match. Man, I'm telling you, I was so impressed with Chicoine at the semi-state. I had him running into the finals. I mean, you got Brandon Barton giving away best donuts in the state on top of training wrestlers. And Woodall came out and got a dub, man. That was one of the most shocking Friday night matchups for me. Not to say Woodall was bad, but I was so impressed with Chicoine. I thought Chicoine jumped levels this offseason. Wrestled Will Clark real tough at the semi-state, and Wyatt Woodall with that 5-3 win.
That was one that kind of got the crowd buzzing because you taking out Woodall has been to state before. taking out a state runner-up that was in a bracket that he could have ran through, and a side of the bracket that a lot of people kind of expected that, kind of saw that, and he had a good run last year at state, so that was a very surprising upset.
Travis Henke over Parker Hart, 4-1. Henke, pretty built kid, moves real well. Like, that was the first time seeing him from Northridge. Parker Hart also coming back. They have some really good big guys there. One of those guys, I think the guy helping out over there with some big guys, he kind of looks like Joe.
What if I just go to practice and start yelling at him for like football practice? You think they'd think I'm Goldsberry?
I think so. I think so. Man, Goldsberry must have lost half his legs. Brandon Johnson, Jaden Bartosik. Johnson with a 9-6 win. Bartosik will be back also from Hanover Central. Will Clark over Devin Kendrick by fall. Keegan Martin by fall over the Colts Man of the Year. Aiden Beatles. So still shout out to him for having, I'm not sure, like I said, the Wardy Brown, I'm not sure what the qualifications are for that, but still a really cool award.
Yeah.
Anytime you're the
no
man
respect
of
for
anything, it's pretty amazing.
Martin had no respect for the Colts Player of the Year, I guess.
You think he's a Bengals fan?
Probably. Or probably Bears fan up in this area.
Then Jelante Hinton and Landon Terry. Landon Terry pulling the upset over Jelante Hinton, a returning state medalist, 4-3. I think he got a last-second takedown or reversal.
What happened? It was he got two near fall in the second period, and that's what I think he got tilted him, if I'm not mistaken. Second period, and then Hinton got a takedown and led him up late. It was like a takedown escape right at the end, per the track wrestling thing. But yeah, it was a real close match. I think he got that escape probably with 1 or 2 seconds left, and that's what won it. But yeah, a good match there. Obviously, Hinton returning, he's been to state 4 times now, and only came away with 1 medal, but still pretty good career there at
really
215 and 220.
Jackson Weingart over Alex Deming, a real good match. 3-2. Both guys returning state medalists. That Newcastle and East Chicago matchup on Friday night was tough. I thought we kind of said that how they were going to hit, and there was a lot of medal on medal fights Friday night, and then a couple qualifiers over medalist. Yeah. Weingart over Terry, 10-6. Clark over Keegan Martin, 9-2, a rematch of the Al Smith finals. Johnson over Henke. Both those dudes are super good athletes. That was a real athletic match. 5-1. And then Caden Brewer getting huge points for the Brownsburg Bulldogs. 6-4 over Wyatt Woodall. Medal matches, Martin over Terry. Henke over Woodall, 4-2. And then Woodall and sudden victory over Terry, and Martin in overtime over Henke. Did they wrestle up the semi-state too or no?
Yeah, it was a overtime match where Henke won.
Henke's gonna come back. He's pretty athletic. We got the rematch of Weingart and Clark in the semis from the Al Smith, which was an awesome match. Those guys left it on the mat. Weingart got the first takedown, right? And then
he put him to his back, and that was it was only half as long as the first one, but it was still pretty good. He got a takedown near fall late.
I think we were kind of like at this point the Crown Point kind of train's like derailing, right?
Yeah.
And we're all kind of watching. It's like, dude, if Will Clark goes down, like somebody walked under a ladder, broke a mirror.
Cross the Black Cat's path. Yeah. Weird. I mean, it was at that point. It was just like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah. And we're not having coaches. We're here, kind of just doing some media stuff. But at that point, it's whoa, everything that's bad's happening is going right.
Yeah.
He ends up getting the fall. Clark put it on the team on the back, right? He goes fall 9-2, fall. Johnson with the 8-5 win over Brewer. Weingart with an injury default over Brewer. I know Brewer was dealing with some knee stuff. Hopefully he can get that cleaned up and come back, because he's going to be either 1 or 2 ranked in the state no matter what happens this summer. So if they're looking to buy magazines, he's going to be one of the top guys.
Well, don't be telling them all the rankings. Then they're not going to buy the rankings.
I'm telling, that's a little rankings preview. Just because I did so bad with his ranking. They definitely asked me, and I had no like. If you ask me, sometimes I can kind of BS some stuff, and I couldn't. And I had no clue why I did that.
He had some interesting. I mean, where was he at? Like 11.
He was at 11. That was poor. They said he kept winning, and I kept moving him down. And I know I moved the new Palestine kid, Sean Glass, ahead of him because he was wrestling really well. He didn't even make it there. And Caden Brewer's in the state semifinals. There's no excuse for it, Joe.
Yeah, I think that the Weingart loss, I think that shoved him down a little bit. Cause Weingart was 8th, and Weingart had like that loss to Kaufman. I think it was just kind of when Weingart, you dropped Weingart, and then you just kind of
don't defend it, Joe. It was a poorly ranked thing. I'm admitting it. Sometimes I admit when I'm wrong. Clark with the 129 fall in the finals was really good. At that point, Brownsburg had locked it up because of the fall at 38. Crown Point needed both wins in the finals, and we'll kind of talk a heavyweight. We'll kind of talk a little bit about the team race because it was very interesting. Like we're looking at it, we're trying to do the breakdown. But Will Clark, 2-time state champion, going to be a football player in college at the University of Buffalo. I think he's the next Khalil Mack, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, no. He's going to have a good career. He's obviously going to be he's tough. And he won't have to cut weight anymore.
Bro, when the Buffalo Bills were playing their playoff game and they're showing pictures from that stadium, I was thinking like, you couldn't pay me to go to Buffalo University.
No.
It looks so cold. Dude, I'm trying to go somewhere like mild. Like wherever I thought Evansville was going to be mild, and boy, did I get sold some nonsense. It was pretty cold.
Yeah. They said we were talking to Forte when he was getting his picture for the magazine and stuff about Buffalo, and like they don't cancel classes. They have like underground tunnels, so you can't miss class, which is crazy.
Ridiculous, right?
Yeah, they have like 10-foot poles that show you like where the sidewalks are and stuff. It's crazy. I heard there's some good wings there. That would keep me. That'd get me going there.
I brought a jacket, and I had a real big guy with a lot of tattoos and a bald head giving me moonshine all weekend, so I was warm.
Yeah. Yes.
So heavyweight. Let's start at the bottom because I think that first one was fireworks. That's when we kind of knew the stadium was gonna be wild, right?
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like not that loud, and then like heavyweight last match of the first session, there was some fireworks, and that place was rocking.
Yep, and we said it because it's a smaller stadium, lower roof. Even without, how loud would that have gotten on Friday if we had a lot more people in there?
Bro, ridiculous, right? Yeah. So Max Amberger, Batesville, lost Friday night to Nate Johnson. Best mullet in the game.
Yes. He flaunted it.
Dude, that thing, I don't know how. I know they had the fire and the smoke going, but when Big Nate won in the finals, how'd they get a wind to blow that mullet so beautifully?
I don't know. Someone must have had an air gun or something.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. Like, they brought a fan, and it was just, like, magical. Looked like Fabio back in the day. Not Fabio Jr., regular Fabio. So Isaiah Coleman, Brady Beck, 7-3 win. Kind of taking brought East Chicago out there and took down some Fort Wayne guys. The heavyweight horse, Anthony Popey, got him some IndianaMat stickers for me messing up his stuff all year over Ethan Dotson, who's a giant, who's literally a human giant. I think he was a double in Game of Thrones. 7-1. Another 4-over-1 here. Hastings was semi-state champ, right?
Yes.
Hayden Smith, sophomore with a fall. He was out there going for broke for Heritage Hills. Really exciting match. Got a fall at 130. Jose Smith, Justin Brown, good match, 5-2. I think those guys have wrestled a couple times this year. Aramis McNutt, a returning state medalist. Juan Cruz was undefeated at that point. Aramis kind of rolled over into some stuff, and when you roll under big guys like that, they tend to make you pay, and Juan Cruz got a stick.
That was a size difference there.
Oh, yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Uluwagabi. Oluwabenga, also known as Large Joe.
Big Joe.
Big Joe. Okay, well, man, we say things and sometimes they stick, but I guess you're gonna do your thing. Paris Green. Paris Green had missed a bunch of the year. Had spent some time in the rankings. Had 10 losses. Huge win for Paris Green. Talking to the Warren Central guys, Riley and Gill, they said that was big. I thought that was big for him. They're like, yeah, that guy had a tough year, and I thought that that was a huge win, and it sounds like he deserved it, and that whatever he's dealing with, getting a medal, hopefully that helps him out. Maybe get some opportunities down the road. And then probably the biggest upset Friday night, would you say?
Oh, without a doubt.
Returned two-time state medalist, returning semifinalist, returning third placer, number one ranked, Paul Clark and James Hartle-Road, who was a Fargo All-American champ, right?
Champ, yep.
The
Auburn Assassin.
The Auburn Assassin. I think he got in the Brownsburg team picture.
Yeah.
I think it was right down to the stage. He did the dirty work, so he got hired out. His assassin got hired out by the Purple Bulldogs to take out one of the big guns from the Red Bulldogs. We kind of said this in the past. There's times where Paul does some things that puts himself in danger, and I thought he did it against Beck, and they said they were going to clean that up. He goes second period. He's up 4-1. And I think he went like lat drop with a Greco. I mean, he's reversal, near fall 2. Harrow gets an escape and then gets 2 takedown, 3 near fall. I think he just kind of got into like a throw situation, and that's probably not the spot you want to be, right?
No. Yeah. Harderoad's a big kid too. And
yeah, he's a big boy, and he's only a sophomore. He's going to make some noise. I think he had some losses with Coleman this year that kind of dropped him down in the rankings. Third period, he goes underneath. Paul cuts him loose. I think he kind of tries to go big. He gets takedown, 2 near fall. Paul gets away. He gets another takedown, makes it 13-5. Biggest upset Friday night of the season. Really, really great match for Hartle-Road. Held his position well. Like you said, big kid. Paul kind of lays there for a second. Takes down, I think, one of his straps, gets hit for a team point.
Yeah. No, that was a, Paul just, I mean, he really didn't do anything, like, crazy. He just, it wasn't even a lat drop. It was like a whizzer. I'm watching it right now. And in the second period, Paul shot in, good shot, and just like an whizzer overhook, and Harrow has some good hips, and he's a little bit shorter and stockier, and just used that and hipped him over. Paul almost got out of it, but then he capitalized on it, and that's huge. And then kind of forcing Paul to, try to create some more action, and that's hard to do against a guy that's going to be sitting there waiting for you in good position, not going to just hand fight, just stay in good position, and that was that's huge.
So, we
talk
about the team.
Have had a placer as a semifinalist for a while, and that was pretty good for him.
So, team race.
Oh yeah.
So, Brownsburg, and this kind of happened last year with Center Grove, right? Center Grove brought 12, and everyone was like they're the favorites in the clubhouse, right? And just kind of going back and forth, and I think that there was some spots in there where they felt like they were going to hit some Brownsburg guys where they're going to be make or break. I mean, we talked about it before the show, right? We talked about it like that 126 Mitch Hawkins and Reynolds. That's going to have huge impact on the team race. As like the Crown Point thing's kind of turning, right? And Crown Point's been the favorite all year. They kind of dominate sectional, dominate regional, dominate semi-state. Brownsburg's guys just keep winning. They took 9. Would they medal 7? They lost Day and
no, they medaled 8.
They medaled 8.
They only lost Day. That's the only one they lost.
So they're having guys that are winning those big matches. Reynolds wins a big match. You have 2 absolute horses, and Dickman, who's working on a pretty solid career, an okay career, I guess.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know who you ask.
That's what they're gonna be. It's gonna be Revan, okay career, Dickman, I guess.
He's all right.
And you got Jake Hockaday, who Garcia's coined the Iceman a long time ago. So you have 2 absolute, like, almost locks, right? And no one's ever a lock, but they're about as close to a lock in the field as you're looking at. And Gunnar had a good run, and he gets to the finals. And Brewer's in the semis. And then you get Reynolds in the semis. And Parker Reynolds is winning matches on the backside. And you're like, dude, these guys are wrestling really well. And Crown Point's kind of like, and we talk about momentum, and those guys are feeding off the momentum. And Crown Point's kind of just like domino affecting the other way. Like any close match isn't going their way. Mm-hmm. So you're watching it, and then going into the last round, losing Reinhardt to injury in the third and fourth place match over a kid he had beat is huge, right? Mm-hmm. And you're looking for a win. Like, where can we get a single win and kind of like ice it for themselves and kind of salvage a tough weekend? They go to the finals, and we kind of run the team scores. We only run it for Brownsburg and Crown Point, though. Yeah. Center Grove's kind of on the outside looking in, and we're like, hey, that was a nice run. You guys did great. Coach Swain, you guys made a valiant effort, right?
Yeah.
So as you're watching it, we're like, okay, like Dickman's going to be a favorite. Hackaday's going to be a favorite. Gunner's going to be a rankings favorite, but Weaver's wrestling really good. If Gunner loses, it opens the door if Crown Point wins both their finals. Mm-hmm. So Dickman wins. Like, okay. Hockaday wins. Shepard's winning. And they're like, man, like Crown Point's going to have it, and Hockaday gets a fall. So we're like, well, now Will has to get bonus points to win. Like Triple B said, we thought 3-0 was 10-0. And then Kyrell Lavelle probably should have gotten the team picture for Brownsburg too.
Yeah.
Kind of takes it and gets a fall.
Yeah.
And that ends it for Crown Point. At that point, I think Captor was not in their lineup at the beginning of the year. Or he was. He beat Van Tichel early. Then Van Tichel beat him and knocked him out of the lineup. So they kind of traded back and forth. And then Evan Cruz getting that concussion at Al Smith. Kever couldn't really make it back. And Captor got in and ran that thing to third place. It's pretty amazing. Captor, probably the shining moment of that squad, kind of picked up some of the slack that not a lot of people might not had him in the state semifinals. He's definitely not afraid to tell you what he thinks of the rankings. But as it's happening, you're like, okay. Then when Shep loses and Will ends up getting the fall, you're like, dang, man, like they're going to end up second. Psych, because Center Grove put 3 in the finals, and Charlie LaRocca wins, and Wyatt Cresia wins. And then Nate Johnson gets a fall. It slides them right half a point ahead of Crown Point for the second place.
Yeah. He got half a point above. And, obviously Johnson's a pinner. He got bonus points in his last 2 matches. Won a tiebreaker match over Brady Beck. Did we go over? We didn't go over the rest of those brackets, did we?
Oh, we didn't?
No, I don't think we did.
Oh, sorry. No, we did not. We can go back over heavyweight. That was my fault. I jumped the gun.
Yeah. No, but yeah. Harder Road over Paris Green by pin. Jose Smith over Juan Cruz. Smith, ultimate tiebreaker over Harder Road. That was a real good match. Almost had 2 DeKalb County guys in the finals for the first time ever. That would have been really cool. Just need Eastside to pick up. I mean, Eastside has some good young guys.
Yeah, they do.
Might be able to get a few guys. That'd be cool to have 3 representatives from the county, the real county, DeKalb County.
The original county, where the settlers very first founded Indiana.
Yes.
I'm sure it was off the Ohio River somewhere. I'm just messing with you guys.
Johnson over Popey by Major. Hartle Road over Popey 1-0. Consolations, Beck over Cruz. Beck is a senior.
Yep.
So it was Cruz, and then Smith by forfeit over Green. Hartle Road's a sophomore. There's usually a lot of turnover. Smith's a sophomore. Kuhlman's a sophomore, and Amberger's a junior. So only 4 guys come back. And Kuhlman and Hartle Road have had some wars, and so that could be interesting. Could have an all Fort Wayne heavyweight final.
Klauser hit it on the nose. Center Grove won 8-0 in placement matches.
Yeah, that is something that I didn't. When I started doing the kind of the calculations, just the odds of doing that is hard.
Johnson by fall, there was like a 50-50 position, and he locks up a throw and pins Jose Smith at 147. Another guy that had a really battle to get in the lineup. We talked about Captor, not in the lineup, the third. Johnson and Tyler Schott, who's an Indy Nationals champ. I seen him wrestle Indy Nationals on Sunday. Had had to like battle in the room, and I know they were close matches. So congratulations to Nate Johnson, state champ. Coach Swain got his boys up, man.
Yep. Hey, got another trophy for the case. And I mean, 3 points or 3.5 points separated the top three teams, which at this level, it is hard to find. I mean, it's easy, but it's hard. It's one of those things that, we can find a million places, but it's not easy. I mean, that'd be 3-4 majors, a couple pins. Yeah. So that's going to be hard to do.
Shout out. I mean, Crown Point killed it all year. Shout out to Coach Lorick and his staff. They put on, and I'm sure they'll be back. I think Derek does a phenomenal job in his call, and we stayed after and kind of congratulate those guys. And he motivated them the entire year. I mean, you talked to him after team state. Mm-hmm. Like, he was kind of in disbelief. Like, man, like, we lose these guys again, and they're pushing each other. And, dude, I'm telling you, I don't think those guys are going anywhere. I think what I'm hearing, like, incoming freshman-wise and stuff like that, Brownsburg's going to be incredibly good next year. They return a lot. They lose a couple. They lose Jesse Daringer, right?
Yeah.
And they lost Preston Haynes, who was a senior at 120. But his brother was rehabbing, is behind him. You're returning two guys working on four. I'm thinking they're getting this incoming freshman whose dad picked him to win the state championship, and they did, who's going to be in the mix for 4. I think he's had some very significant wins in his short career so far. Russell's a really national schedule. They're going to be really tough.
Yeah,
they're going to be really.
Center Grove loses 6 seniors. That's going to be hard to replace right now. I mean,
great senior class.
Yeah.
Landon Clouser stayed in here. I know it's about midnight where you guys are. Amazing senior class, and those guys all kind of stuck together. You've seen those guys at a lot of like dual teams when they were kids. That's really cool, man. Mm-hmm. I think Crecio is the only one that that was a Delta kid and came in, right?
Yeah.
All the other ones, I think, were in that Center Grove Wrestling Club or whatever wrestling club they're part of, possibly contenders because they got a lot of champs over there.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. That was a really good class, and I know that those guys had a lot of I don't want to say hype, because hype makes it sound like they didn't live up to it. They had a lot of buzz coming into high school, and I think we questioned some of like where they were going to fall and how things were going to work out, and it ended up working out pretty good. And I think they still have some guys there like that weren't in the lineup this year, like Julian Weems, who I seen at the state finals looked like he was walking pretty good and ready to get out back on the mat.
That's good.
And Don Brown will be back. So good class, and I know that those guys are going to be really tough still.
Yeah.
But man, Brownsburg loses what? Just Preston Haynes?
Brownsburg loses Preston, Brady Eisen, and then Daringer.
Oh, yeah. Eisen had a really good career. And those guys had a lot of really good careers. Preston had a great career. Just drew into like what's the best semi-state right now. And it hurts me to say that. East Chicago laid an egg, man. They did not look good.
Yeah.
I told Kyle got a little region. Obviously, Kyle's a region great. And we still talk region wrestling, and he just kind of like, not as a scouting thing, just like, hey man, like what's going on here or there. And I said, dude, the region only had one champ. East Chicago only had one champ.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I didn't even think about that. It's brutal. Mm-hmm. And I heard he's injured, Joe. I heard he might come back, but he's got an injury he's dealing with right now. So Brownsburg's losing Preston Haynes, who had an amazing career for them. 2 medals, right? Lost his freshman year. And was under the lights last year, or 2 years ago. Then was 5th last year?
Yeah.
Or was he under the lights last year?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Lose Brady Eisen, who was under the lights last year, had a really good career. And Jesse Derringer closed his career as the Brownsburg Bulldogs with a medal. What's crazy and how good, and dude, I know I'm going to get so much Crown Point hate because they think I'm this Brownsburg supporter, and the Brownsburg guys think I give Crown Point too much love. What's crazy is that Brownsburg was not a wrestling school before Snyder got there.
Yeah.
I mean, that community has embraced it. I think that there's some turnover in their administration that they're not super happy about, but it sounds like Derek's going to ride this one out, man, and they got a squad, bro. They're so good.
Yeah.
Anytime you have 2 people working on 4 titles in your lineup, which I don't know if it's ever happened.
No.
There's only been 11 all time.
10.
10 all time. We're trying to work on 11 right now, and then possibly 12 right after them. Mm-hmm. And they probably got the guy that's probably next closest to winning the next 4 if I had to pick one guy coming in.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. That area is just so good with wrestling, and people are going to continue to go there for a while.
Snyder's the man, dude. I seen Max was wrestling this weekend at Indy Nationals too, so he's getting on the mat more. More mat time for him is going to be game changing. The more he's on the mat with his athletic ability and his strength, I think it's just going to be crazy. I could see him making a run to medal, possibly finals next year. So I think that's a really tough one. I thought next year was going to be the year. I thought next year was going to be Brownsburg year. I thought this year was going to be Crown Points, and dude, whoever shows up, they had a video of Derek kind of giving a speech, and I seen Josh had shared it on his Twitter, and I watched it, and I was like, dude, these guys are hype, man, and he's got these guys believing, and when you believe it, when kids believe in what they're doing, it's a game changer. It's the Charlie the Rock. I remembered I was the man, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, they did franchise out Contenders and put on the east side.
Yeah.
So then I think that's just one of those things, man. I think they're gonna be really good. I think Crown Point's gonna be really good again next year. They're gonna have to retool. They're gonna have to adjust some things. I think some of the stuff that they're really good at kind of came back and bit them a little bit. We talked about it, and I know I've talked about it with Bill, so I don't feel bad talking about it on here. If you wrestle close matches, the margin of error is really small. Mm-hmm. One quick takedown, a roll through, you get caught to your back, and if you're not putting up points, and then dude, guys like Clinton Shepard aren't going anywhere. Mm-hmm. Guys like Gavin Gendris aren't going anywhere. Those guys are going to be back. Crown Point loses both Clark brothers, which are heavy. Luckily, Joe Clark produces large human beings, and he has 2 more in the system. I heard that they're getting a monster from out of state. He's a Crown Point kid, and he's coming home. You never count your chickens before they hatch, I guess. But they're gonna do everything in their power to get that title back.
Yeah, and they have a deep room. They have a state placer sitting the bench right now, and we were talking off the air. It's okay, so how are you gonna shake things out to get everyone in the lineup? And have the best lineup possible, and healthy. It's crazy. I mean, you have so many guys there. That's going to be interesting. It's
the Yankees and the Red Sox, right? It's the Dodgers now.
Yeah,
Dodgers. It's hey man, how can we get the most talent in our lineup? Because if we don't, they will, right? Yeah. And it's not like a free agency thing, but it's how do we get the best 14 out there. And the guys behind them are good. Look at the freshman, sophomore, qualifiers. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable, how good their backups are.
Yeah.
Freshman, sophomore states this weekend. You're going to see a lot of really good wrestlers there that they weren't in lineups this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
guys with, Logan Haney, who has a medal.
I want to say they had quite a few guys at the front. I know Crown Point did. I'm not 100% certain about Brownsburg. Brownsburg has 5 guys there listed right now. Ogle, Day, Gibson, Gibbs, and Jaden Minnie. I heard that kid. I think that might be the one a lot of people were talking. I heard them talking about. I can't remember who it was. They said they have a bigger guy coming in that.
It's a Division I level athlete, plays D end.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Maybe it's him. I'm not sure. I know that. But
Crown Point they have 18 guys that qualified for freshman sophomore state.
Staples is a 165. I think he fits in their lineup, but I don't know if he's going to go to Crown Point.
Yeah. That's our fun of the off season is figuring out where some of these guys go.
You're seeing some of the kids committee, and they're saying they're going to go to Mount Carmel. And dude, it's natural because a lot of those dudes do train with Alex. Mm-hmm. We talked about the region being down. There's a handful of people that went to Illinois. Dude, Evan Stanley took 4th in the big class in Illinois behind some absolute monsters. The number 1 ranked kid in the country is in his weight. Mm-hmm. And that's a kid you don't think that he would have did well in Indiana.
Yeah.
He might have honestly gave Jake his tightest match of any Indiana kid at Carnahan. I know he took Jake down. I would be willing to bet not a lot of people in Indiana's taking Jake down.
No. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, that was. That's going to be interesting. I know, obviously, Alex is doing his best to ruin region wrestling. So
I know he's building region, but it's it's become like this crazy rivalry, right? Like, not only has Crown Point got this rivalry with Brownsburg and Center Grove, they have this rivalry with Mount Carmel. And like right now, like in Northwest Indiana, like it's becoming hey, like make your commitment early. Are you a Mount Carmel kid, or are you gonna go to your actual high school kid? And it's kind of nuts, man.
Yeah.
But part of it is like you have to look at the landscape of your program too. Your Logan Haney's incredibly good. He got state medal last year. He helped Crown Point win a state championship, knocking off a 4/1. I don't know if he makes the lineup again. I'm sure he's working hard and he could. And like you never know what's going to happen. But like if you have a kid, and this can go for the Crown Point guys too, right? If Preston Haynes or not Preston, but Landon Haynes wasn't injured early in the season, like I don't know where he fits in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's who are you going to beat? Your brother at 120, who's a multiple-time medalist. Braylon Reynolds at 126, who's a state semifinalist as a freshman. 132, the two-time defending state champ that just won his third. Mm-hmm. Brady Eisen, who was a state finalist, a state runner-up the year before. Parker Reynolds, who's probably won just as many national matches. His like national accolades are ridiculously crazy. Like he has a hit list of like national stuff. We're talking about people, in Indiana. Like he can run out a national list and just dealt with injuries. Mm-hmm. Like I'm excited to see a healthy Parker Reynolds.
Yeah.
Tommy Gibb, who's could probably make 38 or 44, but has to wrestle 150. But he's jacked and he works out a lot. But just that's the nature of their room.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be.
Also, Mason Day, who's also really good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what these teams do and what they do weight wise. More than anything, it's like that they both are loaded with talent, and they both have a couple guys that are just a smidgen better, that are probably more or less going to dictate where everyone else goes, or can, I guess. I mean, it's like we said with like Shepard or Hockaday or even Dickman. Dickman can say, "Hey, I'm going 32. You guys figure out where you're going, wherever you want to go." And that's and a lot of times I know like someone like Dickman and Hockaday and Shepard and all those guys will do what's best for the team. If coach comes to them and say, "Hey, we need you to go up to 150," those guys will do that because they trust their coaches or have what's best in their mind, and they do. But they're also like, "Hey, that's going to open the spot that we can get all these other guys in the lineup, and we're going to be better. It's not going to hurt you to be in the weight room all summer and lifting." No one ever complained about being too strong.
No, and what's crazy is like the teams. I think we say it in the region a lot, and when people are complaining about how Crown Point's doing or how good Crown Point is, and the guy look at a team like Maryville. They have 3 juniors coming back. 2 of them have medals. 1 has a Friday night experience, and for me, I think David Maldonado might be the best coach in the state. He gets an incredible amount out of what he has. Mm-hmm. Like Adrian Palat was 5th place as an 8th grader at middle school state, 165. He's wrestling lower than he was as an 8th grader. He's thinned out. Bobby Joe likes to show me the picture of what he looked like as an 8th grader. He wasn't the physical specimen he is now. But he took a 5th place at middle school state and put him under the lights. Mm-hmm. And probably not in that sweet spot of 90, 95, 100, 106. That's probably the sweet spot, maybe 110 of middle school, that middle school state. You look at those, and those are going to be a ton of state placers in there. The further north you get, there's a little bit less, right? He's taken guys that had Jacob Kovac wasn't a world beater coming into high school, and he went runner-up champ. And I heard he's coming back to help Dave. That's good. You get a guy that's a great human being, that's a phenomenal wrestler, wrestled at the University of Wisconsin in your room. I don't know what Sean's plans are, but if you're a heavyweight, you wouldn't want to wrestle with Sean Struck every day.
Yeah.
4-time state medalist, possibly a 2-time NCAA Division II national champ. like they got a pretty good freshman class coming in. East Side, you said East Side, like those guys have some really good young guys. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes, you know?
Yeah.
And where the power's going to stay in the county because whatever they're doing at Contenders and at Red Cobra is producing some absolute hammers.
Mm-hmm.
And like it'd be easy to sit back and say, well, they're cherry picking this or cherry picking. They're not. They're making monsters, and it's like, and now you're kind of see some of those guys come back and help, like guys like Brock Hudkins and those guys.
Yep.
And that's like what's gonna it's done really really good, and now those guys are all gonna come back, and you're getting some recycle in, and they're gonna bring some college stuff in there, and it's just gonna get better. It's gonna be crazy. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, obviously we'll see. Folk South State's coming up in a couple weeks, so that's a freshman sophomore this weekend.
What's 1A 2A?
What?
The 1A 2A. They doing that this year?
I assume they're still doing it. I guess I haven't seen it. Obviously the focus has not been on that. I would say that's usually.
I just pulled the Dana Rex on you.
Yeah.
Put you on the spot.
Yes. Yeah.
But right now, first title. And I think everyone that's competitive is going to do everything in their power to match or surpass what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And, kind of going a little bit more into the detail, we saw paths to Brownsburg winning. There were definitely paths to them winning. But I would not have drawn it up this way. This is, I mean, you would have said they're going to get two champs and win it. I would have been like, how? How are you going to get two champs and win it? Because I see, I was seeing 2 or 3, maybe 4 champs from Crown Point. I was like, what? Did their bus get in a wreck? On the way there, that was the biggest thing that I know. The thing I was taking away from the whole tournament was we saw plenty of ways. Okay, you got it. The margin was thin, but there were paths to that victory, and it wasn't even close to that any of those paths we thought.
It goes to show, if you leave that door open, man, they will find a way in.
Yes.
Good coaches will find a way in. And I think that's the thing that I really thought about that is man, it just goes to show, if you got a guy that's a great motivator, right? Mm-hmm. Derek's a great motivator. And he's got, great coaches. He's surrounded himself with great coaches. Other high school head coaches, guys that have had high school success, guys that have wrestled in college. And you surround yourself with great coaches. I'm sure he'd be the first to tell you that. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a lot of success.
Yeah. Sadly,
I think
it does look like 1A, 2A is canceled.
Oh,
man, they got some guys in the rankings. That's a good event.
It was, man. I like that event, and they gave recognition to some of the smaller schools, man.
So.
Yeah, I seen Carver won 106 as a 7th grader. He's gonna be pretty good.
Yep. What's coming? We'll be on next week for the annual awards show. We have, what awards are we going to give out? We are giving out
Mr. Gorilla.
Mr. Gorilla. Mr. and Miss Gorilla.
You don't put a bow on Mrs. Gorilla, do you? On the plaque?
Miss Gorilla.
That's one of my softball icks. Whenever it's whatever team we're playing, they'll be like, oh, we're the Lady Cobras. And they got a bow on the cobra. Bro, are there girl cobras like that?
Yeah. So
I'm glad we don't do that. Thank goodness I can sleep easy tonight.
If you were a voter in the past, you probably will be getting an email. If you don't check your email, check it. And then that is voted on by media, coaches, administrators, a lot of people that we send the email out. We'll get 30 to 40 people voting. And so just something to look at.
Bro, I didn't even do a selfie for the show, man. I'm gonna take a picture of my kitchen. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
Only 2 hours late.
Yeah, so those are going out. Those are voted by, obviously Mike and the rest of the guys have votes, but it is a very much of a community thing. So that's
all areas of the state, right?
Yep.
All
yeah. We all coaches. we try to get a coach and coach, administrator, or media from pretty much everyone in the state. I know I've sent out about 40 emails, maybe more. So that's the voting's going on now. Should we say who's winning? No.
Yeah, we can go on. We can tell. I already told everyone who I voted for. I'm like the Hall of Fame voters, man. I'll tell you exactly.
It is. It is very. It's still kind of close. Basically, you vote for 5, and first through 5, so they get points 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Creesia's winning. Will Clark, Kyrell Lavelle, and then Charlie LaRocca is 1 point behind those two guys. So pretty close voting there. So that should be interesting to see how that shakes out. The other awards, we will give a 1A Wrestler and Coach of the Year, 2A Wrestler and Coach, 3A, 4A Girls Coach of the Year, Assistant Coaching Staff of the Year, and you might have some special ones. Like, you might get like something maybe for them. Like, maybe we'll start a Poster of the Year and Hall of Fame award. I don't know.
We keep saying it. Man, we have to go do some digging. About 4 per class on the Hall of Fame. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we got to stir the pot with the Hall of Fame. So maybe we'll have some other fun awards just for message board awards, and I don't know. See, if we do start doing that, will people be trying real hard to instigate and cause trouble?
Well, that just I think that gets you disqualified from Poster of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah. If you cause too much friction and
if you get banned for actual bad stuff, if you get banned for being a knucklehead, we won't do that. But if you get banned for saying you're gonna fight, don't say you're gonna fight people on the internet. Just go up and fight them in the streets.
Yes. Do it.
Find them at the DoubleTree.
Yeah. So yeah. So we're gonna have that next Monday. So votes. Get your votes in for that. Should be some good vote. I'm looking forward to seeing who gets all the votes. It's always interesting to see. We won't release your votes unless you want to release them. It's like the Hall of Fame. If you want to release it, you do it. At least we haven't done had any poor voting. If you do make some really bad choices, we do disqualify you from voting. I will say that. So at least make solid choices. Don't be picking a regional qualifier.
We'll send second place in the pick'ems. We'll get some IndianaMat stickers.
Yes. Yeah, we will. I think I might be a little bit behind on the awards for those, so I might have to do that. I gotta go do inventory for shirts.
Yeah, man, shout out to everyone that got a shirt this weekend. We handed out a couple. We didn't hand out a ton, but I got some shirts. So.
Yeah.
This one's one of my new ones. I was pretty excited to have.
Yeah, and all of our shirts are
Haggard, Hershey, and Stout.
All of our shirts are the tri-blend shirts. They're nice, soft, comfortable. Everyone loves them. They're like, oh, it's the softest shirt I ever had.
Only way to go, man.
Yeah, I'm a shirt snob. If I just make sure I get nice shirts. So, yeah. Anything else? Great state finals. Great environment. Even though it was a little further away, the people there were fun. It was awesome that it was just all wrestling people in our hotel and at the DoubleTree. And I mean, I'm sure those people were like, "Whoa!"
We were at the Hyatt Place.
Yes, the Hyatt Place. Nice, good breakfast. A really good breakfast there. It wasn't just the thawed out eggs. They might have been thawed out, but they at least looked good, and they were good. So,
we're gonna do Christmas sweaters like that with the intro theme.
Yes, yeah, nice. That's Mike's music.
We didn't do the street show on Saturday. If you guys weren't out there Saturday, it was incredibly cold, dude. There was no way. Yeah. We did bring a small heater, and I was like, I planned ahead, but man, 19 degrees. I cut it right at 30.
Yeah.
At 30, I started being a baby about the cold.
It was like 40-something here today. I'm like, are you kidding me? And last week it was like 60 on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, so.
I don't know what it's supposed to be warm in Evansville, and all of a sudden someone brought cold weather. I don't know who it was, but it's probably Harper.
They want to rock out. Where are you guys going to stay next year? Across the street? Yeah. That's the Park Hotel. I forget the name of it, man. I'm already planning my state finals for next year.
Yeah. We're looking to probably maybe try to do another pre-show. Maybe work in some other things with some people that they have like a gathering area, park type. I don't even know what you want to call it. That they've really done a lot of construction by Gamebridge, and they have like a pavilion type thing. And it sounds like hey, maybe we can set up there and have a
cold, bro.
show.
I can't do it, man. I'm a baby.
Yeah, or we can just go to a hotel and just have a party there.
Yeah, we can maybe get one of those banquet rooms. If we're across the street, I know where we stayed before. We stayed at the what's the one we've been staying at? Like the Homewood Suites.
Yeah.
What's the one directly across from Cambridge Fieldhouse where everyone stays?
I have no clue.
If we get one of the banquet rooms there, maybe we can run it out of there and probably have a pretty good crowd because I think a lot of people stay there.
Yeah.
They probably the hotel probably want to accommodate all those people.
Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Definitely will be nice to be.
Sending those guy in Westfield. Hey, if people are willing to travel out there, I'll do it for sure because Terry's my guy.
Yes.
We'll do it right at Grand Park. I heard he knows some people over there.
Yeah.
I'm using the plug for Terry O'Neill to get better parking at Grand Park this summer.
I heard his son will park your car for you. You just pull up the front, he'll just get in and valet.
If he was, I was gonna let us drive the Expedition, but Triple B offered to drive.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm not getting behind the wheel of this thing, but it's nice.
Yeah. The if Abe is your chauffeur when you go to Grant Park, man, that could help his ranking, don't you think?
Bro, if he gets me a parking spot close to the main complex, I will literally rank that dude in the top 10. I don't say 5. Give him top 10.
Man, I don't think people realize we are easily bribed. We're not ashamed of ourselves to bribe people to get them in the rankings.
The parking at Grand Park for these tournaments is crazy. It's nuts, man. I'm gonna be in Iowa this weekend. I'm not gonna be at freshman sophomore state. Shout out to my nephew though. My nephew Reese's qualified for elementary state. I didn't even know they had elementary state. So he's gonna be down there wrestling. I'm gonna be in Iowa and Des Moines at a softball tournament. Last one before high school. I know my daughter was at a softball camp this weekend. We'll be chasing the blue ring come high school season. So hopefully you guys see me at Bittner Field at Lafayette at Purdue, winning a state championship in the 2A division. Because I'm going to take my daughter's ring. She got real baby fingers, man. If you guys thought I was short, if you seen a picture of me and my family, you would definitely think that I'm really, there must be really short.
Yeah. Man, hotels are already kind of pricey. Might have to, hopefully that changes. Hopefully they realize that they're not getting the
NBA All-Star
game every year. I'm guessing we're a year out, so they also might be not open because there's a lot that are sold out, and maybe they just think that there's an All-Star game coming there every year. If there is, I will be very upset. I do want to go back, even though I did say that earlier. I do want to go back to Indy. So
yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, Terry, I'm gonna be out there dropping names. I'm not lying, man. The parking there is brutal. Like if you're in that midday game, it's terrible. Beautiful facility. I'll be there like 4th of July weekend. Maybe we'll go have some fireworks. Man, you guys will hit me up. We'll go hit fireworks out at Grand Park.
You know where you need to go to fireworks? Weimer.
Avon, man. We went there one time. It was awesome.
Weimer puts on a show. He buys about I think he spends his whole salary on fireworks in his neighborhood. You need to check that out. So
they wanna accommodate 15, 17 through 18-year-old girls. Dude, let's go.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that I include everybody. We went to I think we went to the Avon fireworks show one year. It was pretty good. I was looking for Chris Garcia. I didn't see him. Actually, I was really sad. What else? Yeah, so I think I'm supposed to go catch sharks with Josh Reynolds and Bill Hawkins when I'm in Panama City. I guess they're other house in Florida is not that far. I read that article about Parker catching sharks. So I'm going to take a day. Hopefully it's a happy day. We win.
It's a happy day.
Championship day. We were 4th 2 years ago, so I think we're going to be a good mix. So.
Yeah, no, sounds good. We'll be back next week. Thank you guys, everyone that said, came up to us really appreciate the love, and we're going to keep doing what we do, and hopefully add some things to the mix as we go on. If you ever have any ideas, send them our way. Good, bad.
Yeah, I'm usually the idea man. So whatever Joe does, I'll usually just say, hey, man, we should do this. Or Joe's an idea man, too. That's why we got 12 teams at Team State. So.
Yeah. Sometimes I just blurt something out. And so I would, if you guys have any ideas, tell VRBO in Westfield I'm ready. Nice. There you go.
Let's do it, man. I think we're staying at that, like, the one right in the field. I became bougie at some point. Dude, it's like right across the street. It's not like you're walking there, but man, it's if you take that tournament's so good. If you take a loss there, it's a lot easier to go cry in your hotel than in your parking lot.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I might be on the travel ball circuit here in the near future. I'm gonna push that off as far as possible, but I'll have to get some tips there. So
told you, man, we're gonna start renting RVs.
Yep. Yeah, if you see an IndianaMat start up. That is Kim's idea.
Kim would be so mad if the girls graduate and you start IndianaMat. That's been her baby for years.
I'll go try to buy the domain tonight.
Dude, if you put that thing up, dude, I'm telling you, softball fans on the same level as wrestling fans. It's crazy.
Oh, good. That's great.
A lot of wrestling and softball crossovers.
Yeah. So now that'd be. I'm sure Robert would see IndianaMat come up. And
he doesn't run softball, bro.
But he does baseball, though.
Someone's writing in French, bro. I think you know these guys.
Oui?
I don't know if that's French or not. It looks kind of French, maybe. I only took French 1 year.
Yeah. Man, I do not know how we get all these spammers all of a sudden. I can't even change who can comment on it.
Oh, it's more violent.
Yes. That does. So, so if we... so if you see IndianaMat come up, that will happen. So... anything else?
That is it, man. We ran you guys into tomorrow, so enjoy your Tuesday at work.
Yes. Thank you.
I got 45 minutes on Monday still, but I like Mondays. I hate Wednesdays.
Yeah. Nice. So I got to ban this person. Darn it. I was hoping they, how can I not?
I was going to call that number. You don't think so?
Nah.
So. You think that 229-99-10-5200 is not a good thing?
Probably not.
I don't even know what that says, but man, I'm out here trying to live, Joe.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try to figure out see what that says. So, problem de follos, I don't know. So
good night, guys.
Yep.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. Another great season. Tune in next week. We're gonna do we're gonna tuxedos, stepbrother style.
Yes.
Award show. So if you're a Mr. Gorilla ranking person, make sure you get your ballots in. Mine's already in.
Yep. You were the first real one because someone tried.
What about girls ones? Was that the first one in for that too?
Let me check. I believe so.
Shout out to my girl Kylie Spencer. I seen Kylie Spencer down the state. She was down there supporting. Got a picture with her at Tiki, one of my softball players. She wrestled state qualifier. I had an idea who I was going to pick, but I asked her opinion. So it's a partial vote for me, a partial vote from her.
Yeah, so that's cool. Because it is. I guess we'll just keep talking. But the Mr. Gorilla there's only one requirement, and it's a senior. So obviously, it's a senior. That is the only hard requirement, and then it's based on you can. However you want to rank it, whether it's character, wrestling career, everything else, GPA, things like that. And it's kind of, that's why we get so many different people. It is so that they can kind of pick what they feel, what they define Mr. Gorilla as. And, it usually the field usually evens out and the right person always wins. So, and it's a great award for everyone. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, we're getting out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.